Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. It is Thursday. My name is Martin. It's time to chat, as we always do on Thursday night chat. Hope you are all well. Welcome to everyone in the comments. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way before we introduce our amazing panel, and there's more to come. Please smash those likes on your way in. You wipe your feet as you're going into someone's house. You smash the likes as you're coming into our show, your show. Also, super chats are available. Don't forget, super chats memberships for the next 3 months. 50% will go towards Alzheimer's Society for the next 3 months, all leading up to our big finale of our 12, maybe even 24-hour charity stream, which we will do everything on a separate link, but we'll do a 24-hour stream. We've got some amazing ideas lined up for that. People who are the main road rankers will love it. Some won't, because we're going to do some watch-alongs of old games as well, which will be quite fun. I was thinking of doing the Stuart Pearce era, but I didn't want to put people to sleep for 4 hours, so we'll can that one. Loads of news to talk about, loads of things to go through, couple of rules. Don't forget, moderators are in the chat. You're amazing. You're part of our family. Don't forget, 3-strike rule. If they're being sarcastic, they're going to put emojis, or if we know them, we'll know. If not, you give them a warning, then you time them out, and then you send them on the ban list. Simple as. We are trusting you to do that. Also, panel and chat, we're going to talk amongst ourselves. We will challenge, we can disagree, but no one is going to attack anyone else. Nothing personal. We're all friends. Let's keep it that way. Good evening, Danny, Trev, and Rich.
Evening all.
Evening.
Really quiet day, haven't
you got a lad from Patty who DM'd me who's watching, so he's up at the stupid time that I'm up at. Well done, mate.
Thank you very much, guys.
So what do you call up?
Yes, good evening. Right, we are going to do the squad building. I've done a full word thing on this. I've even got the numbers, everything, where we're going to go through the full squad as it is right now, and the ones we've actually been linked with. Right, the news. We'll start with Rodri. Yes, Barcelona are now in. Barcelona have agreed personal terms, reportedly. Barcelona are in direct conversations with Manchester City at the moment. So there's a chance he could stay, 1,000%, because we all don't trust Barcelona. May pull up the readies to get it done, but I doubt a contract extension is on the line. He will leave at some point. Fair enough. I've seen people celebrating he don't want to go to Real Madrid. Great. He still wants to leave Manchester City. I don't think it matters whether he goes Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Timbuktu for me. I know some disagree. Find that opinion. Still wants to leave. So I don't see how anyone's suddenly seeing it as a W, a win, because he still wants to leave. Because it looks like Real Madrid are going to pour all their money into Vinny Jr.'s extension. Sorry, Arsenal fans, you got told and you got warned you were being used. You didn't want to believe it. You got used. Yeah, so that's where we're at with Rodri. Do you want to do one at a time, or are we going through this? I'd rather do it all in one spiel, and then we can do it and then move to squad. So I don't want to spend 3 hours on the transfers, you see. That's my issue right now.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
I'm trying not to, because we are going to do a bit. There will be a massive transfer show on Monday with me and Tone. The other thing is, City.
Or Etihad Incel, as we like to call him.
It's not Tone, I can promise you. Tijani Reinders is on the chopping block. They have said Tijani Reinders can go, despite his very good performance yesterday. He can go, or yesterday, he can go. Nottingham Forest are in the box seat at the moment. Galatasaray are also there, and another Premier League team. I can't remember who it was. They're there. If Reinders go, they will replace. If Rodri goes, they will also replace. Buada coming along nicely. Ayub Buada will happen and will be a Manchester City player. Right back. They've stuck the right back on the back burner. there's a very, very good chance there will be no right back coming in this summer. They feel with Kushanoff, Nunes, and Victor Hayes that they have enough cover, which is why you're suddenly seeing Kushanoff and Victor Hayes being experimented over at the right back area or the right hand side of the back three. So yeah, it looks like that.
Hayes should be made for that. I mean, he really should with his passing and his midfield ability. It should be, you know, and if Guardiola or O'Reilly's going up into midfield, then Kusanov's made for it too. So I kind of get it, especially when Nunes was the best right back in the Prem last season, despite the fact I think he's not a right back. So he's still the best one in the Prem.
His
Good
position,
evening, by the way,
that's how good he was.
Wingers. Newcastle out anymore. They can't afford him, Pardo. The winger market. This thing of there is interest in Pedro Neto 100%. Manchester City are only interested at their price, not Chelsea's price. Manchester City, as we said 2 days ago, are not going to pay 80 million. They're not going to pay 70 million. They're not even really happy at 65 million. They want to pay what they want to pay. And if they don't get him, they don't get him. This is not an Elliot Anderson must buy at all costs.
Has anyone made the case for Neto? Has any of us made the case for
Pat and me. Pat and me as well.
Let's have it. Can you do a quick summary of it?
Well, for me, I'm happy enough. I mean, I like McAdoo as a fourth choice. I'm happy with Semenyo and Doku as first choices. So we need someone who can play right or play left, isn't totally biased to one wing. We need someone who's going to work hard, who stays fit. So if Doku gets injury, we're not going to have two down injured. Who's reliable, who can put in crosses and all those things. And I actually think Neto's very hard working. He's fast. He can put in a cross. He's very durable. And for me, as a third choice to back up Semenyo and Doku, he's what we need, because he's got a better output than Savinho, and I think he's just more consistent. I don't think,
but not at those silly prices. Obviously, what's he worth to you?
To City is worth. They're looking at maximum 60, and they won't go.
I'd be honestly, yeah. If we sold Savinho and got, Neto for 5-10 million more, so a negligible amount more than we sell Savinho, I think that's fine with me. It's a neutral effect on the squad and an improvement. At the moment, Savinho may have a higher ceiling, but I'm not sure he's reaching it at City.
No, he's not, Cade. Buwadi is not the Rodri replacement. Can we stop saying that?
Yeah, I was listening to Lee Gunner before the show started, and he had a bit of a semi on for Savinho, and a lot of Arsenal fans are now talking about Savinho suddenly because the Vinny
Arsenal are interested.
Turned out to be nonsense. So could we have an Arsenal Spurs bidding war for Savinho, a player that very few of us want?
Yeah, I wouldn't sell a player to Arsenal at the minute.
Saying that we're crashing. 1 minute. If it's not my Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi's smashing it. It could be StreamYard or YouTube.
This is the fascinating thing about some narratives. The reason why I asked Rich, the reason why I asked, has anyone made the case for it? And I'm sorry I missed it with you and Pat, mate, because I really needed that. I really needed somebody who I trust and respect to make the case for Neto, because it was just relentless. There was a huge freak out as soon as his name was mentioned. And I don't know why. Yeah, but I think I'm working it out. I think there's some sort of social contagion goes on where one very popular influencer leads the charge and just immediately puts out something hysterical like, he's a bag of shit, don't want him anywhere near my club. And all of his followers, it's usually him, we don't think we have any lady ones, all of his followers then get on that train, take that as their opinion without thinking, because they want to fit in with that peer group so they won't And I watched the chat on some other channels, not naming any of them because I like most of them. But I watched the chat, and their audience is very much of a hive mind. You don't get people going against the audience, because once they do, they get absolutely filled in by the rest of the stands, you know. So it's a fascinating thing, this Neto thing. I think it's been really interesting for me to watch it. Go on.
I looked at his stats when Maresca was the manager.
Right.
When Maresca was the manager, he was actually scoring goals and assisting.
Yeah.
Yes, they weren't against the top six, because that was the other debate that came out. Because I threw that and everyone, but it's against Leeds, it's against West Ham. But you're buying him as a backup rotational player. Hence why they're not buying him for 80 million quid. Semenyo and Doku are the main two. So we used to always say, buy a backup for Rodri. So when we're playing the likes of Leeds and West Ham, you can rest them and bring in your rotational player. So why is that not the same for Semenyo and Doku? Say you're playing against Fulham or Ipswich, and I'm trying to be respectful when I say them teams, you're telling me Pedro Neto can't come in and play a game then? Is that not good squad management?
Yeah. Just say Hull, mate.
Yeah.
Oh,
the truth is,
sorry, Briggs. I'm just, you know what I mean? People are looking too deep into the Neto thing.
That's all doing us 1-0.
Yeah. We're not spending 80 million quid. We're looking at spending between 50 and 60. And that's why City don't think it'll happen. And the journalists are saying it probably won't happen because Chelsea ain't going to accept the money we want to buy. So it doesn't happen.
But I think there's something.
The next bit, Rich, they're even talking about not even buying a winger at the minute anymore.
Yeah, I think the real problem, I think, among City fans is I think Semenyo is disrespected by some online. And I think Semenyo's heading to becoming a bit of a Sterling, where fans, for some bizarre reason, don't rate him, even though Semenyo is the winger, even more than Mahrez, who is capable of getting Sterling-like output. Like Sterling got, 51 goals and assists, wasn't it? He got in one of his seasons, and yet there were still fans moaning he shouldn't be playing, when I think his output was second to Messi in the whole of, or maybe Messi and Lewandowski in the whole of European football that season. And I think Semenyo's output was incredible next season. I think it can get better playing for us, having to do a lot less work in some ways than he had to do at Bournemouth. And I think he's getting a bit disrespected. I think Doku and Semenyo is a phenomenal pair of wingers, and all we need is someone to support them. Whereas I think some of our fans genuinely think we need to be going for Vinny to bench Semenyo, which is just, for me, a bit ridiculous. Because he wore bad boots on one game last season, pretty much. It was like one game he slipped a few times.
1 minute, Ed, are you wanting to be on camera or off? And now you're on mute.
No, big up the chat, big up the people on here, man. No, I was having some issues connecting. That's it.
Right, so I can remove the other one.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Right, I'm kicking you then. Right, so that's where we're at. So that's where we're at with Neto. It probably won't even happen, so everyone can stop having their little meltdowns. And there's not even a big rush on. Listen, go and listen to Simon Bajowski afterwards. Don't do it now, Jesus. Please don't do it now. After you've finished here, go and watch Stephen McInerney's interview with Simon Bajowski. It tells you everything you need to know.
Martin, you know when you said the club are considering not buying another winger, what's the plan then if they sell Savinho?
They've got Semenyo. Well, they might not even sell him yet. It depends on price. Tottenham still haven't even put a bid on the table yet, Fuller. The plan is, at the moment, is they're going to have a look at McAdoo, and they've also got Cherky and Foden who can go out there. Because, again, people have got to realise, and this is now starting to be noticed, he's going to be very prominent on his touchline wingers. We're not going to go through the middle as much on attacking. It's going to come more down the wings. So
unless it doesn't work.
Unless it doesn't work, and then he may change it up.
Yeah. But for me, that means the need for a winger or keeping Savinho is higher than playing the old way. So for me, that's a reason more than
at the moment. McAdoo's ahead of Munger, is what I've been told.
Good.
Well, it's about
Rightfully so. The reason I asked that is
too.
That's going to affect my decision on McAdoo.
Right.
That's why. Obviously, because
Danny,
he can't be in a position where he needs to be number one.
It looks like they're waiting for a lot of the money to go into the midfield areas.
It makes sense. That should be that. I mean, I know people want different positions and everything, but that should be the highest priority for everybody. Is that midfield, because we all know at our best, our midfield was the best in the league, and it needs to get back up to that level.
Yeah. So people just have to, like I said, if Reinders goes, there'll be a replacement. If Rodri goes, there'll be a replacement. This is as well as Buada. Buadi's not coming in to replace anyone. Buadi's the signing they want. If Reinders goes, they'll replace. Rodri goes, they'll replace.
Very good point from JMCFC that Cherky can play on a wing. So can Phil. And both can do a job there. As long as I don't want any of them being played as wingers, but both can play that position. If we've got
not as a touchline hugging winger, I don't want either of them playing as a touchline hugging winger. To be honest, I don't think either of them are suited.
Listen to me. Context first. If we have a winger crisis, which we seem to be obsessing over, if we have a winger crisis and we need backups for the wingers, then a slight change of play and one of those two can go into that position, is what I'm saying.
I'd play Nunes ahead of those two on that position. I think they'd be absolutely wasted on the wing.
Pardo's doing detective work here. He's doing God's work. So yeah, people got to realise everyone's going, well, Cherky's a 10. You're not playing Pep Guardiola's system, guys. You've heard all the interviews. The idea is to be more direct and get the ball out to the wingers as soon as possible. Ed, you're on mute.
I said, no, Cherky actually played more as a touchline at Lyon than we give him credit for. Because a lot of times at Lyon, he was getting the ball on the wings and was driving at the defense on the wings.
He cut inside a lot.
Ricardo, you're going back to Pep days, mate. We're not in Pep days anymore. This is not Pep.
But Rich, that's more when he got towards the box. Yes, he was cut in, but that was more to when he got to the box.
This is going to be more, and also you've got Aït-Nouri who can play on the left.
He looked good out there from what I saw.
That's my other thing. I don't think Mamouche is going anywhere at the moment. Which is why I wanted to do the squad thing tonight. I think people got to realise the winger market and the right-back market are not as important to City anymore. They feel they've got enough cover to cover right-back, and I think they feel they've got enough options at the wing. They would like Neto, but he's not a priority. If Chelsea not ring us up and go, tell you what, you can have him for 50 million quid, I think City would do the deal. But it's not, City are not going like, oh my God, we must have Neto at all costs. They're not doing that. The people have put 2 and 2 and come up with 37 in this Neto thing.
I think your point about his form under MARESCA and Rich's very compelling case as to why, he's worth thinking about have convinced me. I'm there. I'm like, yeah, for the right money, get him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The better way to put it is the midfield's going to be the engine room where your domination, ball winning and passing it around comes, and then your creation is going to be from the wings.
Yeah, we've seen how much, even in preseason, we've been pressing higher with more intensity. So you need those ball winners in the midfield to win the ball back. And
the other thing people got to realise is people are waking, again, people got to be careful on this preseason friendly stuff as well. Do you know yesterday while they were playing, it was 45 degrees? You know, the journalists at the stadium didn't even watch it in the stadium. They watched it from the journalist room with the aircon on.
Oh, you softies.
Do you know what they even said? They said, I'm not kidding you, they interviewed 2 players, I won't name them, and they said it was hell playing in it. Hell.
Yeah, no, I mean,
never played in anything like that.
Seoul is brutal. And I mean,
Yeah.
Seoul gets brutally cold as well.
Really looking, that's why I said about that second half. They just went with 3-1 up, balls to it. We're just going to kick this around.
Yeah.
Nobody was
the video
doing...
in there, though, Guardiola, you can see Guardiola at one point, he's literally leaning on Donnarumma, his head on his shoulder. He's trying to hold him up. He's like, come on.
Did you see Nico Gonzalez when he walked past the presser? It looked like he'd been hosed down or been in a sauna.
Yeah.
He'd only been on for 40 minutes.
I live in a climate like that. We don't get the cold that Korea gets, but we get the stinky, sweaty, wet heat because that's the only kind of heat available here, you know. And it is minging. You walk outside and you're dripping. I've been here long enough that my sweat glands have adapted to it, so I don't. But I remember when I first lived here, and I used to be drenched. You just walk outside, and you're drenched. It's oppressive. It happens to you.
Right, Jack.
It happens at you. The weather is an active element here. I remember when the first time I flew out of Thailand and then flew back, and they opened the plane doors, and the heat just came in. You know, into the plane, the heat just came in at you. It's like, hello, you're back. It get hot and sweaty. So you know, don't underestimate how difficult it is, and it's only because they're elite athletes that they can run in it.
So, Seoul's nuts though, because Seoul, I've been there in February and it's like -18 or something. I mean, it's so hot in the summer and so cold in the winter. It makes New York look, you know, like it doesn't have extremes. You know, whereas you go to Bangkok in the winter and it's still about 20 degrees, and you know it's beautiful.
It gets a bit chilly on the motorbike, to be honest.
I'm so glad you said motorbike.
Sometimes I put a little coat on if I get on the motorbike in the winter here. You know,
Neil,
only because I'm driving and creating wind.
How long did it take to get used to the heat, Trev, when you moved over there?
About 3-4 years, I would say. Yeah, about 3 or 4 years. I've been here 27 years, so about 3 or 4 years, and it's going to take me that long.
His hair. It melted off.
Yeah, but you know, as I'm returning to England next week,
bring a coat.
It's getting closer. I don't know how many years it's going to take me to get used to the cold. You know,
that's a great point. Krupa was one of the main targets till he got injured, and he could be out for up to 4 months.
He's got an ACL, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he's got something. Right. So yeah, that's where we're at. People have just got to chill. It looks like their money's going to go into midfield. I think he's over the moon with Semenyo. Over the moon. You know, we've got big plans for Doku. Oh, no, Kings, we've had some, mate. Oh, mate, it's been the hottest summer we've had in years over here, mate. And I know Ryjack's on about the Florida weather. I've been in the Florida weather many, many times. It's not as bad as it's never been 45 degrees. Come on. You don't get the torrential hurricane halfway through the day that you get in Florida, mate.
I loved Florida. You just get 5:30 I worked there for 4 months, so 5:30 every day without fail, rain for an hour, and then 23 hours of sunshine or clear air.
We get that here, and when it rains, it proper rains. You know, I mean, it's like massive rain, and I love that. Because that reminds me of home.
Sorry, some other bad news for people. James Trafford has now completed everything for his Leeds move. That's going to go ahead, and City are very, very close now for Rulle to come in, which is really good actually, because now this brings us to our squad building scenario. Now, I've made sure I've got this right, but at the moment, and I've not included everyone, only some, we have a total of 35 players. We have 17 foreign, 6 homegrown, and the rest are under 21s. So we'll start with the goalies. We have Donnarumma, who is 27 years of age, and he is in the foreign quota. You have Bettinelli, who is 34, homegrown. Pace Charles is 20. He's having a loan over at QPR. And then obviously, I think it's safe to say that Geronimo Rulli, 34, is going to complete his deal from Marseille. He will also take a foreign space in the squad. So that's 2 foreign spaces in the 3 midfielders.
Haven't we lost a foreign space, though, in the keeper department? Is Ortega going?
Ortega went last year.
I thought he was still on the books.
No, he signed in Jan.
He went to Forest in Jan, has now been moved on to Olympiacos.
Okay. I didn't know he'd actually gone. I thought he was still on our books. Okay.
That's why Bettinelli was brought in.
So which one of Bettinelli and the other guy is the number 2? Rulli's the number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I think Barcelona can afford Rodri? Depends what City are willing to take for him. But we'll see. So that's where we're at with that.
They're probably there saying we'll give you Ferran bloody Torres. You know, he scored the World Cup winner. He's worth 100 million. We'll give you him.
The zombie lie.
You still owe us 30 million.
No, he doesn't. That's the zombie lie that won't die. We sold that debt to an independent company 2 years ago, and we got 95% off them up front. So the debt from Torres is just a zombie lie. It won't die. I saw it again twice.
They owe it to someone.
They owe it.
It was such a joke. Yeah.
No, I know. It was funny, but they paid it. They actually paid the debt collecting company, which you tend to do when 2 lads with baseball bats turn up at your door.
Guys, right. I know everyone's going to say, "Can I do the same with Chelsea?" I know some are joking. We're not. We're not going to do a squad of Chelsea. So just chill out on that. We're not going to do a squad of Chelsea. So there will still be. And listen, for me, all the best to Trafford. I wish him every success at Leeds United. I hope he smashes it. It is what it is. Just wish him all the best.
Are we okay with goalkeepers? Do we need to think about it?
Yeah, is everyone all right with the goalkeeping department? Or is anyone concerned?
I think it's fine. I was hoping we'd get a homegrown number 2, but Rulli's a good enough number 2. So, you know, aside from it being slightly annoying, you're wasting an overseas slot on a backup keeper. I think it's fine. I don't think anyone will have an issue.
I was convinced I was going to start reading the chat. Everyone was going to start saying Bettinelli over Donnarumma, but I've not seen it so far.
It's coming.
Martin lied again.
All the Trafford-sexuals will be on that.
Can I just clarify what Jeremy Doherty said? Because he wants to call me a liar. Strike one, mate. You're not listening to what I said. I didn't say Nico G was unhappy not playing, which he was. And what you've heard is the Nico G side of it, which is fine. But you've also forgotten the bit of we're looking at buying up to 4 midfielders, mate. So don't call me a liar. God gave you 2 ears. Please use them with respect. Listen to what I say, not what you are trying to hear. Because I don't tell lies. Thank you very much. Again, anyone doing the personal shit in the comments is going to get banned. Simple as. So yeah, that's where we're at with the midfield. The goalies. Right, then I did defence. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Wait,
7,
Mark,
8,
before you
9
moved away from the midfield, I know I joined late. Did you guys already talk about Reinders and everybody's
Yeah, we're coming to that. Yeah, we're coming to that now, mate. We're coming to that.
Basically, we have a shitload of defenders.
Well, mate, I'm only going off what Bajowski and Jack Garner are saying, Jay. And they're saying if Reinders goes replacement, Rodri goes replacement, plus Buada, plus Anderson, that's 4 midfielders, mate.
And we believe those 2 journalists specifically.
So that's all I'm saying, mate. Jack Garn said today in his article, City opened some offers for Nico G. Has said previously, one problem, no bids. Yeah, and listen, I'm quite happy to keep Nico G. I don't see a problem keeping Nico G. But let's get to Nico G section when we get to midfielders. Can we try and keep this in an order? Right? Please, thank you. Just to the chat, let's try and keep this in order.
Yeah, that's my fault,
Otherwise,
chat. That's my fault.
we're-
My fault, chat.
We're going to go higgledy-piggledy all over
Damn
the
you,
show.
Ed.
Right.
Defenders.
Defenders. Ruben Diaz, 29, foreign. Mark Gay, 26, homegrown. Josko Gabardio, 24, foreign. Now, Victor Hayes, he's only 20. He doesn't count in the squad for the Premier League, but he does count as a foreign option in UEFA's competition, because we do have to split the two off.
Yeah, but if we get into the UEFA thing, I think it just makes it more complicated. Let's think about the Prem.
The club have to do that.
No, I know, but for this discussion...
Trev, no, I'm not going to ignore competition that we've got to follow the rules in. We have to follow UEFA's rules.
Just makes the conversation a lot more difficult, mate. That's all I'm saying.
Allowed to City by players, then.
No, what I'm talking about is if you set a limit of... Because what's going to happen is that every time we mention someone, then someone's going to go, the UEFA rules, though, and then we get nowhere. You know, if we keep it limited to the Premier League numbers, I think we got a better chance of moving somewhere with the conversation. But it's your call, mate.
No, I'm just saying, we can just do, if you guys want to just do Premier League, that's fine. But then...
Just for the sake of this conversation, I'm not saying it's not important, but for the sake of this conversation, I think that bringing in the different UEFA rules for foreign players just makes things far more complicated, and you end up disappearing up your own arse, because we've done it before.
Well, then, right, we can do that then, because it is going to change everything then.
I'm not trying to dictate it. I'm just saying that it just might be a better conversation if we keep it within the Premier League rules, because I don't want a discussion about a player that's important to get derailed by then bringing in the UEFA rule as like a Uno card to say, but we can't talk about him anymore because there's the UEFA rule. It just doesn't go anywhere. We just got bogged down.
No, that's fine, Chad, but then if they get discontinued from the UEFA squad...
Fine, yeah.
What do you do then?
Yeah. No, I'm not talking...
Because people... Yeah, but the trouble is, Chad, people like for Rico Lewis, they'll say, keep Rico Lewis for the homegrown quarter.
Yeah.
And this is
I know. I've just seen this conversation. We tried to have this conversation, not this exact conversation, but conversations like it. And the UEFA different rules it just kind of distracts everybody. It kind of moves people off.
Rules, mate. We can't.
No. I'm not talking about the reality. I'm talking about for the purposes of this conversation. If we want to move, if we want to go somewhere with it, then keeping it within those parameters, I think it gives us a better chance of doing that. But it's your gig, mate, and you can disagree.
Right, well, what we'll do is we'll do Premier League and then we'll do the UEFA bit afterwards, and we'll split them into two combos. Then,
nice one.
I think is the best way. So Josko Gabardio, so Victor Hayes doesn't count as anything in the under 25s. In the squad of 25. Nico Riley doesn't either then. So he's fine because he's only 21. Rain Noure comes in the foreign quota because he's 25. Max Elaine is 21. And Stephen Mafuna is 18. Are we looking at a couple of loans there then? For a couple of people?
I mean, first things first, I wouldn't swap our defensive depth for any other team in world football. I think we have 3 top-class left-backs, and by top-class I mean could walk into nearly any team in world football left-backs. I really rate Nouri, and you look at him and some people would have him down as third choice. I think in Gay we got, probably the player who was arguably after City's and Arsenal's the best other centre-back in the Premier League. I think we've got Diaz, who's been a leader, a treble winner, and we've got Kuzanov, who's got amazing potential. He's an absolute beast of a player. And Guardiola, I think, is the best young centre-back in world football. So you've got that. You've got Rice, who has impressed me, and I'm really interested to see, going into that, stepping up in that MARESCA role into midfield, because I think he he looks like he's absolutely made for that. And then you've got Nunes, who I don't even think's a right back, but he was the best right back in the Premier League last year. So I look at, honestly, I look at that. At Funi's meant to be. I've heard many people say he's the best player who's come through our academy in years. So, you know, and Elaine, who was brilliant at Watford, although, you know, was a bit shafted by City being thrown in. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking that is a defensive group that's got 5-10 years in it and has some, you know, it's almost too good. It's like, who on earth are you going to leave out?
Yeah,
because I don't think. Yeah,
you haven't put Kovacic in there. And we got him for another year.
He's a midfielder.
He's a midfield.
Yeah, we're looking at defenders.
Okay.
I with Hayes, I actually want to see him at that. If we don't get a right back, in that right back position, because I think he can offer us more offensively than a Husanov with the passing range he does have.
Yeah, having seen Hayes, you know,
would everyone be happy with him as a right back option?
Yeah, I almost think unless we're going to sign a brilliant right back, who we're really happy with, I'd rather keep Hayes.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Victor Hayes could, because if you noticed yesterday when he come on, he slotted into that right back.
Yeah. And I've banged on for years.
You know what I mean?
Kusanov being right back of when you're playing you know, if you're playing O'Reilly or Guardiola or right Nori stepping up, Kusanov's a perfect right back to be the right centre back when you go to 3 at the back. So with the talent like Rice and Kusanov, and then you've already got Nunes there, you don't want to go and put someone else in who's 27 and not as good to just ruin it for. And you know, with it's almost too tight. There's almost too much young talent in that group.
The thing with our defence, it's almost a guarantee. It's almost a guarantee every season. Our defence always gets massive amount of injuries. You're going to need that depth.
Yeah.
You're going to need that depth.
Yeah.
I remember last season there was a debate on, I think it was with LB, and he wanted to get rid of Nathan Ake last January. And I was like, don't get rid of him, keep him, because you'll end up needing him because we'll get injuries. And unfortunately for us, sometimes it's 2 or 3 at the same time.
Yeah.
These will get minutes.
But it's a significantly younger, kind of more robust defence than we've had in many years. Like we have had, I mean, as much as I think it's
a good variety.
Football, Stones has always been injury prone.
Yeah.
You know, Ake's always been injury prone. So we have kind of swapped. I think that is City's greatest. You know, apart from
I mean, for me, I would actually put Hayes above Husanov for right back for me, just because of I'm thinking more of possession, and I think Hayes can offer you more up the pitch if he is higher in those more roles connecting to the attack.
It depends who we play. You know, I've always said this. It depends. I want one of our fullbacks to be a proper defender and one to be a proper attacker. So if we're playing Nick O'Reilly left back and he's going up into midfield, I'd probably play Kusanov. If we're playing Gvardiol or Gay or someone who's an out-and-out defender left back, I'd probably rather have.
I have forgotten to put.
I think we need both.
By the way, this is on me. I put Nunes into midfield. I should have put him in as.
Yeah, but Rich, if we're playing against a low block and Nunes is out, I'd rather have Hayes there.
I on something that Danny said, I actually did some research yesterday to answer a question on Twitter. So the information, central defenders, I looked at over the last 5 years. What has the amount of injuries to central defenders increased at all? And the sources are not ITKs. The sources are people like John Moores University, the Football University, and some quite niche sport physics, you know, sport therapy people. So if anyone wants the sources, I can send them. But this is really interesting. Long-term media-based and team tracking data shows that central defenders sustain the highest incidence rate and injury burden from training injuries compared to any position. Because the question I was trying to answer was, we've got 5 people we've got a choice of 5 CDs and we don't need 5. Well, you have to remember what's happened to our central defenders in the last
Yeah, I
two
think you need
seasons.
5.
And if you're going to play three
I
at the
think
back,
5's the minimum. And then
and if you're going to play 3 at the back as well, or 4, that will turn into a 3 and invert 1.
Yeah, and the reasons given were fixture congestion, which we all know about. The total injury rates increase drastically when a squad is forced to play matches with 4 days or less recovery time. We do that every season. Modern tactical demands. Modern systems require central defenders to play in high defensive lines, cover massive amounts of open space behind them, and repeatedly sprint at top speeds. This high physical load directly escalates to muscle breakdown. And the third one, I don't want to bore you with it, but I think it's important. Severe ligament trauma. This has been a really common one. The relentless schedule has also coincided with a noticeable wave of severe knee injuries, such as ACL tears, which keep elite central defenders out of action for up to a year at a time. So again, I'm not quoting ITKs, I'm not quoting newspapers here. These are studies, John Moores University. There was another university that's very big on training physios. This is their data. This is what they use for their business. You know, so 5 CDs, I don't think is an overload, and that's why Rice needs to stay.
I think the other good thing is if you have centre backs who can also go to fullback, like, you know, Gay's quite capable of going to fullback. Gvardiol's quite capable of going to fullback. Kusanov is. I don't think Diaz is, but really most of the other players we have are, and that means that you have an element of flexibility. That was always a good thing in our treble season with, you know, Kanji and Stones, I think mainly did it, but Gvardiol, you know, is having players who can, you know, go to right back if they need to. So they can play as a right back, as a right centre back, of 3, as a centre back, and that flexibility is good. But I'm really, really happy with, you know, I would not swap our defence for anyone else in world football. Even, I think, and probably the next best defence in world football is probably Arsenal's squad, because Arsenal got quite a bit of depth there. But I think, you know, ours is younger than Arsenal's now, and Arsenal's is pretty young, and I think it's exciting. I think the biggest danger for us is keeping that many young players happy that they get enough games next season. But if we get injuries, that's not going to be an issue. If we don't get injuries, well, that's good news, and we'll have to live with, you know,
we're going to play 60 odd games.
Yeah.
This narrative about young players wanting more minutes, I'm still not sure what I think about it or where I am with it. But it used to be the norm. It used to be the norm that players aged between 18 and 21 knew where they were, and it was healthy. And is this new? Is this I'm going to leave for more minutes? Is it a new phenomenon?
I think it's at City. I think at City it is, because we have world-class players now, and we didn't used to. You know, when it was kind of Tony Vaughan not getting enough games, he's you know, with respect,
he's not bothered because,
you know,
he's not going to get games
part of it.
else.
Yeah. Whereas, you know, if Mark Gay comes from Palace, England player, doesn't start half City's games, he's going to want football, because these are players who are up there in the best in the world at what they do.
I know. Don't they know that when they come to us? Don't they know that when they come?
No, because
if they come from the academy, it's different.
They all think they're the best. Though. They all think they're the best. So they'll come to a team thinking, "I'm going to play. I'm the best," and then they're not. That's hard for them. I mean,
I think we can say then that this is never going to be solved. It's just something we have to live with.
Oh, you have to.
It is unsolvable. This phenomenon of players aged between 18 and 21 demanding minutes or I'm leaving is just something we have to get used to.
Yeah, I'd say it's players between 18 and 32, to be honest. I think our issue is not going to be 18, 21-year-olds. It's going to be what happens if Gay doesn't start every game. What happens if Nori doesn't get enough games? It's going to be players in their prime. But there's no right or wrong answer. We have this debate and we go back and forth. We have too many and players are going to complain. or we don't have enough and we're calling Max Lane back at 9 o'clock on a Friday night from Watford, and you can't win. The only way you win is if you get exactly the right number of injuries. But if you get too few or too many injuries, which you've got no control over.
I just want to do these super chats, Rich.
It's what it is.
Because I'm going to nail it down. I want to go through. Right. HS, thank you. Who are the Rodri, Tijani Radi replacements? I want Kone or Scott. We don't know at the moment who those replacements are. All we know is that they will replace them if they're sold. That's why I think that they're prioritising the midfield areas. But thank you very much for your super chat. If we do hear anything, we will break it to you. Linner, 39 months. Thank you, mate, for your continued support. Antone with the 15 months. Thank you so much, Buddha. That is appreciated. 50% of all that will go towards Alzheimer's Society. Right, so I'm presuming Diaz, Gahey, Gavardio, Kushinov and Victor Hayes and O'Reilly and ain't Nora are our main guys.
Yeah. I like that.
And Nunes.
And by the way, Nunes.
Yeah. Before we move on, Mark, I just want to say also too that I've been banging the drum about Diaz and his injury proneness the past couple of seasons. I think that's also another reason why we need to keep ample amount of youngsters too.
Yeah.
Well, this is where I'm going. I'm actually going to put people into the positions as well, so people know. So I would say centre back, and he's going to go more right back as well.
Yeah.
And I would say
I think the good thing about it as well, Ed, is that we are not going to. The reason we've had so many injuries is we've had to so often play players when they're not fully fit, and I think Ake, Stones, and Diaz have suffered massively for us playing them when we shouldn't have been playing them, and we don't have to do that now. So hopefully that means that, you know, unlike Ake and Stones, Diaz's injuries have been slightly different, whereas Ake's was same leg, same hammy, consistently, and Stones had quite similar injuries.
But Rich Diaz has been, I don't know if it's been the same leg, but it's been multiple hammy issues.
I think he's had different hammies, and one of them was lower leg, I think, one of his. So, but I think we've now got cover and we don't have to overplay it. And, you know, I think that's...
Which is good news for that young player thing.
If
the ideal is to have your squad as a cauldron of competition, where everyone in every starting position has a young lad nipping at his heels, and the young lad has a god to dethrone, that's the perfect situation, and we probably can't have that. You know, so we just have. I think the manager's job is to deal with that.
Yeah,
you know, and we.
And I will say one thing is, I do think Diaz's role is going to be incredibly important for City next year. I think
is he captain?
Assuming Rodri goes, Diaz is really, you know, as a City player, he's a really, really experienced head. He is going to be.
Well, that's what Tom's put here, Rich. We have to remember Maresca has specifically talked about the squad needing experience and mentioned on 2 separate occasions about the squad losing a lot of experience.
Yeah, that's a very... I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to go for Jordan Henderson, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of the midfield signings we make, assuming Rodri goes...
That's why I don't think it will be a Mazza.
Yeah,
I think with Mazza.
I think if we're getting a Buwadi, I think we might go and sign someone.
Do you know who I think? Well, hang on, right? We're jumping into midfields now, guys. Let's just finish up the defense.
Well, we're all happy with defense. We're all delighted.
I'm being quite anal on this tonight, and I'm sorry, but I want to do it. If we're going to do squad, we need to do it in a more structured way.
So to draw a line, Martin, we are happy with keepers. We're happy with defence.
Am I presuming then Max Lane and the chat as well, Max Lane and Mifuni will be the 2 on loan?
Yeah, I'm not against if one of them wants to stay, particularly Funi because he's a lot younger, stay and learn as a member of the squad, but certainly one of them needs to go on loan.
But my point is, do we actually need, when we look at that depth, do we actually need a right back?
Well, that's interesting because
we actually need a right back when you look at that.
It's been something we've spoken about a lot. The backup right back. I don't think we need one.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the only way I'd go for a right back is if a world class. if an opportunity came at a decent price to sign a truly world-class right back, of which I don't think there's that many around, then possibly. But I wouldn't
But
be
Rich,
going.
if Gusto was on the table for 55 million, would you go for him?
He's got the one thing with, he's
then you're going to lose Victor Hayes then.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing with Gusto I kind of like, but he's the same age profile as everyone else, pretty much, or maybe slightly older and more experienced than Hayes. So I don't know.
I think, Ed, because of the system we're going to play, I think he's trying to make sure Kushinov, Diaz, Gamardio, Gay, etc., get enough game time as well.
Yeah, but Martin, why we keep on getting linked to the guy then?
But that's why I've said, Ed, today they've distanced themselves from all right backs.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear that part. Okay.
There's no one listening to these interviews that go out. What y'all doing, you lot? Y'all sat in your hands twiddling.
I'm at work.
It's night. It's night time. We're sleeping.
You should know all this.
What are you talking about, man? I work for a living.
You bastard. Right. Let's now. Right. So I think the general consensus, we're quite happy with our defence, aren't we?
100%. We're happy.
Right, so we're happy. We're happy with goalies. We're happy with defenders. Right. So this is my point. I now think that, and by the way, I have put up the Jack Gorn article because I do pay for it so I can get through the paywall. Right. Midfielders. Jesus, look.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. And I have included wingers in here. Look, the strikers, we got 3. Look where we're at here on midfielders. Now we're going to get to the juicy part of it. Right. Nico Gonzalez, I'll go through them one at a time. Age 24, foreign. Cherky, 22, foreign quota. Jeremy Monga, winger, age 17, under 21. Fine, not a problem. He can just fit in. Reinders, age 28, possibility of leaving, and they will replace. Phil Foden, 26, homegrown quota. Calvin Phillips, 30, homegrown quota, potential loan. Ryan McAdoo, he's 18. He goes in under 21s because I always say potential just in case.
Yeah, I thought Sheffield. I thought that was a done deal.
Chavera, age 20, under 21s. Rodri, question mark. We know why. Mateo Kovacic, age 32, is staying, foreign quota. Elliot Anderson, 23, homegrown. Doku, 24, foreign quota. Grealish, 30, homegrown quota, probably going to leave. Savinio, at the moment, age 22. We don't know what's happening with him because we just don't know. Jaden Esker, age 20. Menyo, 26. Buada, I put question mark. Neto, I put question mark. And then, because they're the only 2 names. Right, I'll let you sort the wheat from the chaff in there because there's a shitload of names in that.
Well, straight away, I'm going to say Munga's in the academy or on loan.
Of course you can, mate. You've got the link in the chat. You're sending Munga on loan, right? Okay,
or the EDS, one of the two. One of the two. That's up to them.
Okay.
Yeah. Tijani's interesting, because I think he's the right player at the wrong team. I actually reckon Reinders was fantastic in Milan. He looked, he's by all accounts looked good pre-season. Looked good, he's good for Holland, but I just don't know he's right for City the way we play. I mean, it's hard to know with MARESCA because I don't really know how MARESCA's going to play. But assuming he's not, but running onto the ball, running through the ball on the break, kind of doing a bit of a Lampard. He's obviously a very good player. So, but if our club knows he's not the right player for us, then we have to get rid. And to me, Rodri's going. Kovacic is our 3rd choice, 6 and 8. So we get another 8 to back up Anderson, and we get another 6 to replace Rodri. I'd have quite a few of them go. I'm happy with Doku and Semenyo and backed up by McAdoo on the wing, and I'd sign another winger if Savinio goes, because I do think I don't think we can rely on 3, and I don't want to waste Philip Walter Foden or Ryan Albert Cherky on the playing as a.
Is that his middle name?
wing, probably. He grew up in Moss Side, so he must have a.
Yeah, his name is Philip Malta.
No, Ryan Alberturki.
I don't know about
I completely
sure?
made that up, to be honest. Anyway,
I thought you might.
Yeah.
But
So
I like it.
yeah, so I don't want them playing wide the wing. So I think we need to replace Reinders and Rodri if they go. Although for me, you know, Buadi, assuming he's coming, that's kind of replacing Reinders in a way.
Well, this is why I want to go through, because
so we need a six.
Hang on, everyone's going at Rodri, Fernandez. This is why I'm doing the homegrown stuff as well, because I've got a sneaky feeling I'm not ruling out a Morgan Gibbs-White manoeuvre.
I'd be more than happy with that.
Because here's my point. This is why I brought up the homegrown and all that. We know Calvin's probably going to go. Is that safe? Yeah?
Yeah.
That's one homegrown gone. Are we going to say probably Grealish is going? Would you say that's fair?
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to say Grealish, loan or sell. So that's another one gone. Jaden Esk is going to go on loan, if not be sold, I think.
Yeah.
Savinho, we don't know. So we're at question marks there. Kovacic is staying. Elliot Anderson is staying. Rodri, we don't know about. Echeverria, are we loaning or keeping him?
I'd sell him.
No, yeah.
So you're at sell. Right, so we'll sell or loan. Calvin Phillips, we've got potential loan. Reinders. So here's my thing. In the midfield area, Buadi's coming in. I don't think Nettle's going to happen, if I'm honest with you. So Buadi comes in. He won't be in the foreign quarter. He will be in the foreign quarter for UEFA, but won't be for. He'll be under 21 in the Premier League. So you're going to have that you're homegrown by the end of it. We're going to need some homegrown. So that's where I'm at. Morgan Gibbs-White if Tijani Reinders leaves, for example.
It makes sense if he's going Forest and to get that negotiation out there, but I don't see him letting him go, to be honest with you. I don't think he's going to want to lose Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White together.
I don't. Oh, you do a Adam Wharton.
I was just about to say I wouldn't mind Adam Wharton.
What about Scott?
Everyone's going to look at the names Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson and go, no, I don't like it.
Or Alex
what I like about Wharton
is saying Wharton in the chat.
Wharton's a bit of a tempo setter, and that's what truly we're going to lose with Rodri is the tempo setter, and Wharton does bring that. But I don't think he's a real defensive six. So it depends in some ways who's going to slot in from right or left back into midfield and the effect they have.
Because don't forget, if Rodri doesn't leave, Rodri will not be replaced. He won't replace Rodri till next year.
Yeah.
Rodri still may do his final year. This is now in the Barcelona court. Because again, I think Madrid have put all their money into the Vinicius Junior. I'm still not ruling Madrid out if he does stay another year. I mean, are we really going to go with him? But yeah, because that's Tijani Reinders could be going to Forest, mate.
You've got to speak to me a way to do that transfer.
To be honest, for Madrid it becomes, I reckon, a little bit existential, because if you've watched Spain in that World Cup and you look at Barcelona's weakness, I mean, I'm so glad Frankie de Jong's injured, so we can't get tempted to get offered him.
Because don't forget, you're going to need 3 midfielders in your box, because we're presuming one of the centre backs inverts in, or one of the full backs, which I actually think could be Nunes or O'Reilly. I think either of those two can invert. Oh, I haven't even put Rico Lewis in. Jesus, there's another one I missed. Oh no, where did I put Rico Lewis in? This is what I mean. We've got Rico Lewis still.
How can you miss him with that bright blonde hair?
Nah, man. We know Rico Lewis will be a homegrown quarter filling position if he stays.
So is Rico going?
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I'm of the opinion I think we're going to keep him.
I think we're going to keep him, but I don't see him playing a lot.
Well, that's another spot gone then. So, again, we're keeping a lot of people here, guys.
I don't think Rico Lewis plays that much, Martin. To be honest,
Then why would he stay?
He doesn't seem like he wants to leave.
He's got interest from other people.
Yeah, but Martin, we've said this every time. If a player doesn't want to leave, doesn't matter how much interest he has.
Because by the
It
way,
seems like he's got it in his head that he wants to fight for this spot. Now, whether he's been told something that we don't know, MARESCA goes, fight for this spot. Let's see what you can do. There's something that hasn't had up.
He wants the Lewises to replace the Jameses as the ultimate brother-sister football combination at a team.
See, it's right. So, Colby, this is my thing, right? So, and this is not you. So, Rico's going to fight for his place. Nico Gonzalez has said he wants to fight for his place, which is brilliant. Are we selling anyone here? No one's going.
Well, I said sell Echeverri.
Well, yeah, Echeverri.
And put a buyback in.
Echeverri, Rodri, Reinders, Heskey's going. There's at least 5 of that list are going.
Right. So you're at 30 players, Rich. You're at 30 players. Remember,
I'd say sell Calvin, but no bugger wants him.
Yeah, but 7 of those are under 20, under 21 club trained or something, aren't they?
I understand that, but again, this is my point. You can't just leave them at home. Rico Lewis can't just be banged out to the EDS again.
No, Mark, but this is the thing, right? If you choose to stay, there's no guarantee that you will be in the squad.
Mm-hmm.
So
my point is, then we can't replace.
What we can't do is allow players that aren't good enough to get into the first team to dictate our squad, because they might get upset. They might get upset and want to leave for more minutes.
But this is why I'm thinking
we can't allow this narrative.
If they want to leave for more minutes, they're going to go. I mean, the issue here, we talk about Rico Lewis wanting to stay. If he wants to stay, and he didn't kick up last season,
don't do that.
Played about 10 games, so I'm not worried about that. It's just players who, if there's someone who we don't think can even do a job, like Calvin Phillips, it's utterly pointless. I'd pay him to leave.
Yeah.
But if it's someone like Rico Lewis who isn't going to kick off, who's happy to stay, wants to stay, then I can live with it.
Is he really accepted being a squad rotation player, or like I say, he's been told something we don't know? It's one or the two, really.
This is what I'm saying. If you're looking at bringing in a Buada and Anderson and then replacing Reinders and Rodra, then you've still got Kovacic, you've still got Rico Lewis, you've still got Kovacic. We're now at 8 and 9 midfielders there to fit into a 3.
But Barton, that's what I'm saying. If he wants to stay, and let's face it, he didn't play a lot last season. I didn't hear rumors saying he wanted to leave.
But that's what I'm talking about. Say he's done an interview saying he's realised he wants to play football. That's what I'm saying. I think they could sell Rico Lewis, yeah.
Why are they profiling so much? If you look at the City website, they're profiling a hell of a lot. There's interviews coming up with him left, right, and you're thinking, well, that doesn't sound for. So if you're going to sell someone or get rid of him, why are you doing that?
Yeah, but they put Rodri out on the new merchandise, Dana. Don't mean he's staying.
Yeah, but they were taken ages ago.
Is it now a thing that it's impossible to have someone who's a squad player and knows they're a squad player? Does that not exist anymore?
No, because Rico Lewis has already said he doesn't want to be a squad player.
I'm not talking about Rico Lewis. I'm talking about the principle.
But that's what we're talking about, Rico Lewis.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying there's a phenomenon.
No, I think they do. I think they exist. I think the problem is that they usually fall into one of 3 categories. Someone who's young and wants to be at a club and is coming through, like Foden was for a couple of years, a squad player. I think they're players like Kovacic who want to stay. They're older. Kovacic is as good as said he can't play 40 Premier League games. It's too hard. It's too physically hard and everything else. So I think you have him, or you have Rico Lewis, who just seems to be happy to be there. And if he only starts 6 games, he's not kicking off. So there are squad players. What you can't have as squad players is a Mark Gahey and only starting 10 times in the Premier League.
Sure, but Martin has said specifically that Rico Lewis doesn't want that.
Well, he did an interview. No, Rich, he's done an interview saying last season made me realise I want to play football. He played 200 and odd minutes last season, Rich.
But I mean, he
didn't even play hardly in the bloody. So you're telling me Rico Lewis's football career is Plymouth Argyle in the second round of the Carabao Cup?
But question for you: if he'd have said really happy not playing, then we'd have thought he's the new Winston Bogarde. And you know,
but that's what I'm saying. Rich, he has to go. Somebody has to go. These are the reason I'm doing this conversation tonight is because every time we do this, keep him. We've got to squad of 40.
We're not. No one's saying keep him. We're just saying if he doesn't want to go. Yet. Which we have. We've said Rodri's go. We said Rodri's go. Phillips, Rodri.
Martin, your list and your final number is a bit padded for convenience.
We've already got.
No, I'm going off the actual squad list, Trav.
We've got 6 people in that midfield. We've all agreed
but
to
you know that Phillips ain't in there. You put wingers in as midfielders.
But has he gone yet?
But it doesn't matter.
Well, he's going.
If Phillips stays, he's going to be at home. We're not going to name him.
If Phillips stays, he's washing catch in the attic at home every day. That's what he's doing.
Phillips stays, he's doing the car park.
Hang on, I'm doing this as factual right now. I'm not doing this on what could be.
I get that, but then you're using 39 as a definite number.
Yeah,
in a hypothetical conversation. So you know,
no, it's not hypothetical.
You gotta give us a bit of slack.
That's why you're wrong. I'm doing this as a factual conversation.
Martin, to try and pretend that we've got a major problem with Echeverry and Calvin Phillips filling up our squad next season isn't real. They're just not going to get named. They're going to be like Sterling on the last day of MARESCA at Chelsea, and they're going to get not named, and then they've got a choice.
Then there's no point in this conversation. Then if we're going to,
of course there is. No, we're saying they're going. They're not. No, Martin, what you're saying is there's no point. If someone has any disagreement with you, there's no point in having a conversation. We're saying Phillips is irrelevant. We're saying Echeverry is irrelevant.
Now. This is your conversation right now. You're poor today. Tomorrow we'll win the lottery, right? I don't know what's going to happen down the line. You're giving hypotheticals.
Martin, what's wrong with saying Phillips is irrelevant to this conversation? Yeah. What is wrong with that?
Martin, I think you're looking for big names to go, but we're saying for some of these people, because we've been in this situation with John Stones last season, with multiple other players. If you want to stay, you're not going to be in the squad, and you're going to have to live with it. That's all we're saying.
But you're bringing in McAdoo and Monger and everything.
No one said bring in Monger.
Hey, I said Monger's off.
People are rich. People are doing that.
He's going on. He had first team football last year. He needs first team football this year. He needs to go on loan.
Nico G's done an interview, and everyone's gone. Nico G's staying.
McAdoo's our 4th choice, and I'm really happy with that.
You all told me weeks ago Kovacic was out the fucking door. Well, he ain't. So what are you doing now?
Yeah, but he'll play 20 games tops.
Can you adjust your numbers to? Because we've already signed off on defence and goalies. So can you cull your final number as opposed to still thinking it's 39 when we've already?
I didn't say
definitely. 30. We've got rid of 8 so far.
All right, so I'll take out. Good evening, Toad.
Take out Phillips. Take out Echeverry. Take out Heskey. Take out Grealish. Take out.
I'll open this.
I wanted to jump on because Martin's been telling everyone on bloody other channels that I'm almost dead by the sounds of it. I don't know where he's got that I'm almost dying in bed. I had loads of messages going, "Are you all right, Tone?" I was like, "God, what's going on?"
Oh, that's
Martin
nice, though.
said this. It is nice, people asked, and I appreciate it, but it was just like a flu-y thing. It was nothing more.
I don't know, man. Man. You sound like you're close to it. I don't know.
That's just normal, Ed. That's just me normal. But
I thought you were just too busy with your Etihad Intel activities.
Oh God, I know. I saw Pardo and all them lot in there saying about it. Thank you, guys. It was on an Athletic paid chat apparently as well. Someone mentioned even paid money to say it, and it's.
I am definitely commenting on everything they put. Thanks, Tone.
Fuck's sake. Cheers, Trev.
I'm not putting your hat. I'm not putting an hat on it though. You know.
But hi everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's well. Has Martin gone off sulking? What's he doing?
No, he's deleting names from a Word document, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody
Rico Lewis has done him in.
I'm not sulking, mate.
Got
I'm
million if he
just
stays, to be
enjoy
honest.
getting dictated to.
Oh, Martin, you bitchy sod. I forgot to put lotion on. Went to the beach. I look redder than this bloody drink.
Would that be Vimto?
It is, yeah, my favourite.
Top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
We've so got to get sponsored by Vimto on this channel. It's outrageous we're not. I mean, they've had more.
We can get Vimto here, believe it or not. It's an inconsistent supply, and it's dead expensive. About a tenner if you want it because it's an import and there's loads of duty on it. And I got a mate called Duncan who's another man who's really into his Vimto as well. And I bought you know the plastic things you can make lollies from.
Mm. Yeah, I made Vimto lollies. Nice.
I made Vimto lollies, and I just posted it on my Facebook, and he just replied in capital letters, "Genius." So I sent him some of the lolly makers. They are fantastic. Vimto lollies are brilliant. Yeah.
Right, you're at 29 players.
Excellent.
Right. Okay. So we're down. So we only got 4.
I've took Jack Grealish out. I've took Rico Lewis out. I've took all them out.
Reinders, Echeverry.
Nope, not taking Reinders out. No, Echeverry.
Reinders is going. Echeverry's going. Rodri's going.
From now on, no more Echeverry chat. No more Max Lane. All them done.
Well, mine. So if you're not taking Reinders out, why have we got Neto on the list?
I've took Neto out.
Oh, you took him off. Fair enough. That's fine.
Bloody hell, is there anyone on it?
A limited edition Vimto alcohol drink. I need to get hold of it. I don't know how he.
Kovacic isn't going. I don't know why we're saying we're selling him on that comment. He's not going. He's staying.
We're not selling Kovacic.
Yeah.
Have you done Guinness and Vimto instead of blackcurrant?
I have. I'm not. You see, I love Guinness, but I like it. I wouldn't ruin Guinness with anything else.
No, but just as a just as an experiment, I did it. It was great.
Yeah.
I've never drank it since, but it was worth doing for once.
But I think Guinness is supreme and Vimto is supreme. Yeah. Together, they're not as good as their individual parts.
Yeah, but it was an interesting adventure.
Yeah.
You know. So right. So can we get the list up, Martin?
Mm-hmm.
If we're down at 29, we're getting serious, even with some of the ones that we haven't discussed still in it. Because 25 is the... Yeah,
do you know what this tells me as well? No one reads the group chat.
Hang on.
This is what everyone's telling me. No one's reading the group chat.
But what are you trying to do here?
Squad build. I said we're going to go through the...
I reeled him in. Look at that.
This is why the channel goes dead when I go away, ladies and gents.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
You're on full-on mode. Full on.
Yeah. You know, Tone, how this show started. Rich, you're late. I said in the group chat I'd be 15 minutes late. I don't read that.
Yeah, Jambu, Jambu's flirting with a block. That's blasphemy, mate. Vimto is incredibly mid.
Thank you, HSA. Watch Buardi a lot over the last 2 years. He's a diamond. I'm not allowed to include Buardi. He's not here. So under Richie's rules, Buardi's out. We're not allowed to include him. Why are City fans twerking
when Reinders goes?
My word was they are cooking. Oh, cooking as in
twerking.
No, they are C-U-C-K.
Can we stop using the word twerk, please?
Thank you very much.
I reckon, yeah.
I reckon $2, he can say whatever he wants, man.
Yeah, I reckon the reason that City like about that, it's just Rodri going to Barca is a bit like if you're selling a player and they're going to get a Liverpool and then they sign for Villa. You're going to be pleased because you don't hate Villa, you do hate Liverpool. You know, it's like that. It's still gone. It doesn't change anything massively, but they're not signing for the Scousers, so it's an improvement.
The best conversation we ever had about Rodri, and we've had a lot, the only one I actually enjoyed is when somebody dropped in the comment, well, what if he was going to Barca? And I think it was me. And everyone just went, oh, well, in that case, like instantly in the chat, it was like, oh, well then, yeah, that's not too shabby. So, you know, and it's because of what Rich said, I think. Yeah.
Right, so midfields. So there you go. So let's go through the squad again. So your midfield list is now Nico Gonzalez. He said he wants to stay. Tone, anything you've heard?
Nico G. Yeah, I think if they got the money back, he'd go, but no one's bidding. Jack said that in his article today, that City are open to offers.
I was about to read his article in a bit.
Or were open to offers, but no bid, so can't get rid. But yeah, so he'll probably stay, I suspect, as part of the squad, and no harm in that. He's a decent player. He's a squad player. He's not a starter. Yeah, no problem with that.
Well, this is what Jack did say. This is off Jack Gone in his article. Nico Gonzalez, who failed to start a single Premier League game between January and May, insisted that he is one of them looking at a fresh start under Enzo Maresca. Said, I'm happy here, said Gonzalez, who was 50 million quid 18 months ago. I don't want to leave. I think the club wants me to stay. If we win, I'm happy. My dream is to win trophies. If I don't play any matches and we win the Champions League next year, I will be so happy. The final of the FA Cup, I was not picked, but we won, so it was an amazing day for me. To be honest, last season, I couldn't have expected to have played almost 30 matches in the starting 11. I've had many opportunities. He also said, Gonzalez, who couldn't make the bench in the FA Cup finals, referenced that he does have his price, or they've referenced that he does have his price, but it's become clearer in recent days that Tijani Reinders is likely to exit before him. And then as Tone says, because there was no bids. So Gonzalez is staying.
Yeah, unless someone comes in.
And he's happy to not play.
Yeah, that's a bit of a concern. I don't expect him to come out and say too much in the media, but his comments to me were standard media responses, really. But it's a little bit, I don't know what the word is, but it's not great that he's happy to sit on the bench and I'm delighted doing this. He didn't start a game January till May in the Premier League. Not one start. Didn't get in the squad at all for the FA Cup final. Didn't get even on the bench. I think that's right. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not happy if I'm Nico G. I haven't joined Man City to be not starting a game in the Premier League for 6 months or 5 months.
Yeah, but Tony, he's not going to... I mean, I think that we all know the club's stance on it. I don't think he's going to rock the boat to leave either. I think if he is going to leave us, he's going to want to go for another top team out there. And I don't think, rocking the boat here makes you go to Fenerbahce, Galatasaray. Yeah. So I think that's one of the reasons.
Yeah. In the media, I just mean behind that, I wonder if he is happy. I just don't think he can be. He shouldn't be either.
I think the reality is
if he doesn't leave this year, I think he'll leave next summer.
Yeah.
The reality is with any player though, is that if they weren't happy last year, they weren't happy under a totally different manager and coaching staff and a slightly different style of football. So ultimately, any player has got to see, unless they're really just unhappy with living in Manchester, being in the UK, etc., any player has a chance of a reset. So apart from Calvin Phillips, because there are some things that are impossible. Like even a player like Jack Grealish, if we sold Savinho and he stayed, has potentially got a chance of a reset. So I think in that sense, we don't know what conversation's gone between Maresca and the players. That does change things. If you're at a company and your boss change, you're unhappy, if your boss and the leadership team all changes, you might well have a different perspective. So, you know, we have to wait and see.
Well, let's have a look at the numbers we've got. You've got these are just central midfielders. Gonzalez, Reinders at the minute. We'll keep saying Reinders because the news is if Reinders goes, he'll be replaced. So there's 2. You've got Buwadi coming in. There's 3. You've got Elliot Anderson 4. Mateo Kovacic 5. Rodra, if he goes, will be replaced 6. Phil Foden 7. Cherka 8. How do you keep everybody moving?
I mean, I think that Buwadi will be Reinders' replacement, to be honest.
No. Apparently that's not the thing, Rich. The news tonight is Buwadi plus 2 others.
But I mean, I'm happy.
That's what Simon Bajowski and Jack Garn have said.
I'm happy as having at least 7 players fighting for those 3 positions.
Yeah, I think 8 is okay. I think 8 would be fine. Honestly, I think with the style we play, injuries at times, I think that's fine. No,
you'd have to do it as a separate deal, Bob. If you're giving Gibbs White, you'd have to do him as a separate deal, not as a swap. Because you just negotiate, and it would have to be investigated by the Premier League under their brand new 45-day rule.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Rodrigo's, just looking at that list, well, as cover, I guess, but there's not much in terms of winning experience, if you see what I mean, around that squad. Now that I look at it.
Yeah, if you take Rodri and Kovacic, pretty much the only players over 30 in our entire midfield and defence. Because our defence does not have one 30-year-old in it. You know, Rodri goes, we've got 1 player over 30 out of we're naming 17, 20 players at the back and in midfield and in goal. And I think Rulli's 30 and Kovacic is 30, and they're not going to be starting. So we're going to have nobody who's 30 playing, which I think is actually, I know people are obsessed with youth. I think that's risky and lack of experience.
Well, that's why I put there. That's why I put
I have to bring in my favourite statistic. Should I ask it as a question or just tell? I'll just tell you. In our treble-winning team and squad, but the team, we had 5 players who were age 30 or over, and if we go to 29, that goes to 6 because John Stones was 29 that year, and so, that's the best we've ever been, and 5 or 6 players were aged over 29, 5 were aged over 30.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to be
I don't think that's incidental. Sorry, Danny.
Sorry, I was going to say, you don't necessarily need to be like 30 over to be experienced. Name on there, no one said Foden. How long's Foden been around the team? Now, he needs to come into his own. He needs to embrace the experience. He needs to do that. And he started to do that last season. I said this on another stream the other day. Last season, he started acting like a leader. When I see him, Martin, you sit near me. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but you can see him giving instructions to players what to do, where to go. And he started to do that at the end of last season.
But for me, experience doesn't mean a 30-year-old, right? I think we also.
No, I think it means 24 plus.
Yeah.
24, 25 plus.
And I think we have to remember that treble team was at an end of a cycle. This is a beginning of a new cycle, right? And I think we kind of lose track of that. Remember, after that team won everything, it was time to get some of those 30-year-olds out.
Agree.
Champions League, Cup finals, semi-finals.
Some. So I think we just have to remember that too. Like, we can't judge a beginning of the cycle compared to an end of a cycle.
No, but
was that about Foden then when he said experienced in what? Was that about Foden?
I don't know. Mario, do you want to explain yourself, mate? I don't know what you mean explain.
I think that is the biggest way for me is that experience. I mean, look at what Alonso has done at Chelsea. He's gone out and signed 2 mid-30, 34 and a 36-year-old, and not because they're going to start every week, but he's like, we've got no experience in this squad.
Right, can I just stop? Right, people are getting really thing on this age, this experience thing. The understanding of it is he's not buying 18, 19-year-olds all the time.
And shouldn't.
No,
that would be incompetent.
I think people are getting confused on this experience. Doesn't mean you go and buy a 24, 25. I think with this, he does mean age. Because when he's talking about this experience quote, he's talking about losing John Stones. He's talking about we've lost Bernardo. Players like that. Nathan Atkins gone out the door. Hundreds and hundreds of appearances.
Probably Rodri, yeah.
Rodri. He's talking hundreds of appearances at the top.
And I tie that in with leadership.
Yeah.
Because experience gives you the authority on the pitch, which is leadership. Because your manager can put all the instructions he wants and drill you in those instructions on the training ground, but from the sidelines, he cannot implement players or correct them when they're not putting that into operation. And only older players have that clout. Phil is one of them now. You know, Haaland is probably one of them. Have the clout to be able to say, stop doing that. You were told to do this. Do this. You know, Diaz can do it. We know that. You know, so I think the experience also equals leadership, and I also think it means authority, because you can't argue with some of these lads because they've won a treble. So shut up and do as you're told.
And this is on Rodri and Reinders. You're bringing in Buade, who is the younger generation. Yeah. I don't think the plan is bringing Buade, bringing a Mazza, bringing a somebody else who's 20. You remember Reinders is 28, who you could be losing. Rodri's 30, who you could be losing. They're not going to replace Reinders with a 20-year-old and Rodri with a 21-year-old because they're a techie baller on FIFA.
Who would you want starting ahead of Kusanov? Diaz, one of the best people in the world in his position, or a 24-year-old? No. You want Ruben Diaz.
Experience
Diaz to be that guy next to Kusanov, who I adore and I think will be an incredible player, but he ain't there yet.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great thing from Joe. People got to realise what we mean by experience. I'm going to turn this list off because it's in Tone's way. Can't see his ugly bush. What people mean by experience is
can't keep an eye on his health.
What you got to look at when we talk about experiences, like for example, we went to the Bernabeu last year. Mark Gay has plenty of experience, but he said himself when he got into the Bernabeu, he froze. Semenyo froze a little bit. It's not just about how many games. It's also, have you been in the Bernabeu before? Are you able to, when you are 1-0 down in the Bernabeu or the Camp Nou or wherever else, or in a semi-final at Wembley, can you go, guys, let's do this. We know what we're here for. That's what he also means by experience. That's what John Stones, Nathan Ake, Rodri, right, all of them bring. It's across the board.
It's that
Mazza's
on the
never
pitch.
not done it in. I'm not saying Mazza's a bad player. He's a very good player, but he's not done it in a semi-final at the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
When we got to the back end of last season, Everton and Tottenham away, some players shit the bed.
Yeah. Martin, just to go back on that list, though, to the point made earlier, now I've seen it, I've not looked at it as a list as the latest. That does alarm me a little bit, especially if you take Rodri out. I'm a bit concerned. There is a few of those. The numbers, fine. If you look at the total numbers, great, no problem with that. But we've got to start getting a few out, and we need experience in for sure.
Because Gabardio's experience, he's played in World Cup finals, not semi-finals, quarter-finals, that thing.
It's not. I mean,
played in the Champions League.
There's not that many 30-plus midfielders who you could go and get who would, come in.
I'd say they're not looking at 30, Rich. I think they're looking around.
Yeah, I
20.
don't think it has to be.
I think they're looking at 24, 25 plus, Rich.
Yeah.
That's why I was talking about Wharton or Gibbs White, someone like that.
But I think the question is, and this is why I don't think Wharton Gibbs White. It's not just that you've played a lot of games; it's that you have gravitas with your teammates, and you have the ability take ownership of your team, the ability to drag the team along with you, and the ability to really step in. And I'm not, we've got a lot of very experienced players in that they've played 200 or 300 games, but I think Ruben Diaz has this, but I'm not sure who else. Bernardo had it, Rodri had it, maybe Erling. Erling could be one who has that kind of presence, but we need someone in midfield who on a bad day can do what John Terry used to do for Chelsea and just tell the team. I think this is what cost England the World Cup, because I think for all his experience, Harry Kane as a leader, as in actually gathering the team around and firing up the team and everything, is massively lacking. He let Messi run the game. And I think we need a couple of players who in the bad moments can step up, can rally the whole team, can be a coach on the pitch, can talk to people, can help them, and can drag around. And that's what worries me. I think Diaz has got that. I think he's always been a great organiser. I think Donnarumma should be that, but he didn't quite show it. But,
yeah.
I mean, he's one of the most, he's the most experienced 27-year-old in world football. But
we might see it. We might see it from Gvardiol. He might, step up a bit because he's more comfortable in the squad.
I think at the moment, after Diaz, the most likely person to do it for me is Haaland, because I think Haaland has got a personality, is self-confident enough and everything, but I don't really want Haaland to have to do that, because if he's doing that, he's not thinking about his next goal.
I think the part of the experience is, and I'm going to use this because a lot of people keep bringing up his name in Mazza.
Yeah.
Mazza's only broke into the Bayer Leverkusen team in 2025. He was at Union Berlin before in the under-19s. I think he also means not played a bit more football than a year or two experience.
Yeah, the Wharton one as well with experience. I wouldn't. He's similar to Mark Gahey when he joined. I wouldn't say he's experienced in the sense that we're talking.
Not necessarily Kings, though.
Yeah, and I've got some question marks on Wharton. I'm not saying he wouldn't be a good player and stuff, but I do wonder why nobody else has had a go.
So who would you replace?
I was just about to say the exact same thing.
Because Tony, he's not a DM. I think he's
I think it's also his physicality. I think people.
So Tijani Reinders and Rodri both leave. Who are you two that you think we should go for?
Morgan Gibbs White. That'll upset people, but I'm throwing it out.
Yeah, I just want to address the comment. Somebody said that experience won't catch Vinny Jr. Go and watch the Real Madrid. Yeah, go and watch Kyle Walker pocket him for an entire match, and the game after that as well. He just didn't. He just didn't appear. And Kyle Walker was 33 when he played against Vinny Jr. So shut up.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, the other thing is, you don't pick 11 players all to track Vinny Jr. or you're going to look pretty stupid with 11 players at right back. You pick a team. You pick a player who can go and chase down Vinny Jr. But you've still got 10 players in the team. And so it's just, it's a silly comment. It's like.
And Kusanov had a great first game against Vinny Jr. I did a bit of a compilation of it. And there's a point where Mbappe even looks up. The camera caught it beautifully because he looked like he was looking up at the camera and just shook his head. Because Kusanov, who is a young lad, this isn't the experience argument. Kusanov had a shocker against him the next time he played him. But the first time he played against him, absolutely boxed him out of the game because he was quick. And that's where Kusanov comes into his own. If you need somebody quick, if they got a quick left winger or somebody quick on that side, Kusanov's absolutely your man. He will catch them every single time. He'll probably kick the fuck out of them as well and get a yellow, but he will catch them, Yeah,
the thing is as well, is you don't...
let's tell people to shut up.
This is... I hear this a lot on Insta shows and stuff where people say, we need fast and young. That's all we need. Fast and young. They tick the box. 20 and fast. They must be bloody good. No matter what. If they're quick, they're great. Yeah, I'm afraid if you know, if it worked like that, we'd all have those bloody players, and we'd have won the title.
Is that a reflection of the demographic, though?
Well, yeah.
Can I just think of the chat?
You know, the word "unk" has become a term of abuse, and it's been overused because it's lazy and convenient. But people at 26 are now unks because it's a lazy, easy thing to type.
Can I just say, there's two things we've got to do here, right? Everyone keeps going on here. What you're saying, Neil? Everyone keeps going on about we don't need that. We don't need that. We've got enough. We've just said Simon Bajowski and Jack Gorn have both reported tonight. Simon Bajowski said it on Stephen's show earlier for 36 minutes. If Reinders and Rodri leave, they will be replaced.
Yep.
Not plus Buada, plus Anderson.
But Buadi's the right back.
So we have to get into this mindset. That's where the club are looking at the moment. They will replace them. So it's all right saying we don't need to. We've got enough. The club don't feel they have got enough.
Would have been handy if Simon had said who we're getting rid of.
Well, he did. He said Reinders and Rodri.
Bit of a clue who else, though. You know.
Well, he did. He said Rico Lewis.
Well, it's 2 out and 2 in, right? Then, so how is that affecting our numbers negatively if it's 2 going, 2 coming in? Because that was the condition, right? If Reinders and Rodri go, then we're going to bring in 2 players. So that doesn't affect the squad numbers at all because it's the same amount of people.
We need to improve.
We've got to be careful as well is when we put out these quotes and whatnot, because I'm seeing it in the chat now, people going, we are getting 3 midfielders if we can find them. What if we can't find them?
Yeah. Well, then I don't think players will be allowed
out. Get the money for Reinders.
I don't think the players will be allowed out then. They will only let these.
I'm just saying, you've got to think of that scenario as well, because if people are getting carried away, going, we're getting this, we're getting that. Well, that's the same what they're looking at doing, but you've still got to find the players.
Yeah, but that's what's in the
doing. We're struggling here to come up with players, and the ones that we do want, we're probably not going to get.
Yeah,
so I'd love more available, but I don't see Forest letting them go.
There's been news tonight of Enzo Fernandez again. That is a rumour that will not go.
Read the fucking room. Read the room, please.
The club are not reading the room at the moment, it seems.
They're not with that guy. And I don't ever want to see a City player get booed when he comes on the pitch, but I can see that happening with this guy.
Yeah.
We don't do racism. We just don't. And he is a racist. And I noticed, I flagged it last week. There was a Insta or a tweet went out with Fernandez with his arm around a black player, and a quote from the black player saying, "He's great. I really love him. He's my best mate." And I thought,
that's
Caicedo. And I thought, okay, this is the campaign beginning of Fernandez is not really a racist. Campaign has started, and I ain't having it because I watched that video and I know the story behind that video. They waited. Messi told them, stop singing these songs. It's bang out of order. And they waited for Messi to be held behind after a game to get treatment. And as soon as Messi wasn't there, that's when they started singing the song. And if you haven't heard the song or seen a translation of it, it's absolutely rancid. It's vile. And we know that Argentina is a racist country. They don't have any black players in their national team. Hello. You know, guys are racist. The bottom line, guilty as charged.
Did you say, man, that comment when someone said, is Nico O'Reilly not good enough for midfield? Nico O'Reilly is a very good midfielder, but the thing is, he's an outstanding left back.
Yeah, I think
and he gets, on that left back role, he gets a lot more width down that wing and getting balls into the box.
Yeah, he wasn't singing it alone. There's a video, mate, DJN. He wasn't singing it alone. There was 8 of them stood in the middle of a coach.
Where are you at with the Enzo Fernandez? Because I know where Rich is going to stay. Rich is going to be like, no, same as me.
As a player, absolutely. No doubt at all. As a player, he would, you know, if you take away all the other shit, in my view, he's a top player who would improve the team. But all the off-field or around that sort of area, as Trev's alluded to there, and other stuff as well, absolutely not. I wouldn't have him here. I said it on Insta, got a load of shit actually about it. I was quite surprised. You said, "Oh, who cares about that? We just need top players." It's like, I care about that. I can assure you, many people do care about that sort of thing. you know, he's a top player, but from what I gather, Maresca's a huge fan, massive fan of Enzo Fernandez. I think he's on record as saying it. And that's where the links are coming from. I think City will distance themselves from him because City have worked extremely hard to build their reputation. I know people are going to go, 115 and all the rest of it. But that dressing room, like I've said this before on here, but Haaland, superstar, humble, with all the, you know, all the team look so together. And I know it's all videos and a bit of propaganda and all the rest of it. But the club have built this solid reputation around the place, and then if they bring in Enzo Fernandez, to me, and maybe I'm being a bit overboard, to me, you've got rid of a bit of that hard work by bringing someone like that in, and plus he'll cost 130, 40 mil plus, surely.
And he ain't that good.
I must admit, the player, the midfielder I'd love us to sign for a whole host of reasons is Fabian Ruiz. I wanted him 2 years ago. I wanted him a year ago. And I don't think he demands starting every week. I think he's experienced. I think he's a class player, and I think you might get him if you paid a reasonable amount, because he's starting less than half the games probably for PSG. But he's the sort of player I'd like to get in. I'm not saying he's going to start every week. And if you're looking at sixes, I mean, if you're looking for an out-and-out six, you go and chuck Chelsea a massive amount of money for Caicedo, because he's, as an out-and-out six, he's not a Rodri, because Rodri's a 6'8", Rodri's a tempo player, but as an out-and-out six, Caicedo is a exceptional footballer. Go and sign Caicedo and Ruiz, and you've, Ruiz can play.
I wouldn't touch Enzo. I wouldn't touch Fernandez with a barge pole. I think there would be a lot of people. There'd be too much of a kickback.
I know, but if we're just talking about the player, Martin, you guys.
I know, but you guys
are talking about an experienced player who's played at the Bernabeu, who's played in the Champions League, who's played at the top of the top. There's not a lot of those players around. There's not a lot of those players around.
No, but I can't even know what he is.
But he's the exact profile you're looking for.
What Tone has said is very valid. Arab owners in particular are very conscious about media attention and what gets published about them. City are like that. If you go back to the ticket prices when we was trying to was kicking off about them, they weren't listening. The minute we protested, the media got involved. They give exactly what they wanted because they wanted that media attention to be positive. They don't like negative media attention. And if anything negative comes across the club, they just want to bat it away and they want to get the positive out there. So for that reason, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, spot.
Good player or not.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't think it'll happen.
If you know the history of the club, if you know where Main Road was, if you know the history of that area, we don't sign racists. We just don't.
I don't care if it's Messi, whoever. If Messi had that same attitude and that behaved that way, I wouldn't want Messi here even in his prime. That's just me. I know there's others that agree. There'll be people that don't agree. I wouldn't have anyone of that ilk at this club. I just wouldn't.
I agree with everybody.
Like Enzo. No, mate. We're talking about Enzo as he acts in the press. Yeah. And he has made racial comments. He sang racial songs. The fans don't want him, mate.
All I'm saying is, then, guys, we might have to adjust our profile to what is actually in the market.
But what do you mean you didn't sign Otamendi? When did Otamendi come out with a racial song?
I've got a drop now. I've got a drop. So I'll
take care, pal.
Speak soon. Take care,
mate.
Yes, bye.
Hang on a minute. No, you see, you're on about when we signed Otamendi years and years and years ago, mate.
I didn't know he was a racist, or I would have said, get him out of my club.
Yeah.
I didn't know,
Nothing. We didn't know anything.
And if Alvarez joined in with that song, fuck him too.
And by the way,
memories we have of
him. I did call out Alvarez on this channel because he was singing that song, and I was the one who called him out.
Yeah. And apparently, I'm destroyed because Aaron thinks I'm a clown. How will I recover?
Again, I will say
I'm over it. Do one, Alan.
Guys,
Aaron.
Please stop saying stuff to you. Panel, stop reading the chat. Just ignore them. I'll deal with the chat, and then we'll all, let's not get into back and forth. That's the best way. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I want to say. I just want to say, like, I understand everybody's concerns. I agree, guys. Let me tell you about myself. Okay, I was born in a place.
Messi wasn't on the bus.
Yeah, I was born in a place where you have to deal with these people one way or another. So I have a different viewpoint on certain things. Doesn't mean I agree with it, right? But you know, we totally.
At the end of the day, right? No, I'm going to put it this way: people are going on about thing. You have to understand, people ain't going to like this, and I said this the other day, and people took this the wrong way. Manchester City is a global club. 1000% we understand that, but it is played in the United Kingdom. It is played in Manchester, which is in England. And the majority of the people who go to watch City play at the stadium are going to be Mancunian or English. What do you want me to do? He will get booed in that stadium. No one is saying we're not a global club. That's fine. You can have the views. That's fine. But what we're saying is, from a PR standpoint, we will protest it.
There is a high potential.
Yeah, it's like signing Mason Greenwood, right?
We can't take City out of England. You know, going on English this, English that. City's in England.
I think when we sell Rodri and Reinders and whoever,
we will boo him. We will boo him. I've had people say they won't even go and watch anymore. Mate.
I think if when those players go, I think there'll be one of the City mouthpieces that'll come out and say City are distanced themselves from Enzo, no interest.
Yeah.
That's
it
what
will
I think
be a PR nightmare if we sign him. The fans will go crazy at him.
Yeah, and if they move for him, that's when the voices will be heard and the fans will make them.
We won't do it now on links.
I think it's already there, Tone. I already read it. Nobody wants him. Yeah. Nobody wants that guy.
Danny, you know
because we know what he is.
Fans will kick back to Enzo Fernandez in this club.
But if we wake up tomorrow and we see £110 million bid, then the shit will hit the fan. Then
Absolutely will.
Cade, I'm sorry, mate. I swear I disagree with you. There will be a kickback.
Yeah.
A lot of people and
right, that's fine, mate. I go to the stadium. I'm entitled to do it.
See,
when the fans in the stadium want to make a point, trust me, they make a point.
It won't be this VIANA who signs up on his deal. Khaldoon will have to sign off on his deal. So Rihanna will have to sign up. It'll be the whole top brass. This won't be VIANA.
Right, so Thierry only English fans will do it. That's absolutely fine, mate. Again,
we're the ones who are there. We're the ones who are there to boo him.
No, because Trev, this will get triggered back the other way. People will say, "Oh, so the fans in the stadium mean the most." We're not saying that. Again, listen. Manchester City is situated in England. What do you want us to do? We can't take City and move it. What do you want us to do?
Ultimately, all this aside, irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, like you said, is what Tone said. That's the important point. Our owners, our Arab owners, they do not like negative media attention. That's the bottom line with it. This will attract a lot of negative media attention. They will not take that risk. Yeah. They don't want that. Their backs are already up against the wall in this country. The like of Simon Jordan, slagging them off left, right, and centre any chance he can. They have a field day with that. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, spot on.
The headline, Man City signed racist.
Yeah.
And so someone in the comments said, you sound like you know Enzo, using his first name. I don't. I saw a video of him jumping up and down in the middle of a bus, singing a vile racist song. And they only did it because Messi wasn't on the bus with them. He'd been held back. That's the full story. Messi told them to stop it, to cut it out. Right? And they waited for him not to be there. And the first thing they do is start singing it on the bus because the Messi wasn't there.
No, Dom, he does play in England. And there's a lot of Chelsea fans who don't like him.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of Chelsea fans are happy to sell him.
Yeah, I know.
And also,
Chelsea fan who wants him out.
Again, learn your history of Chelsea and some of their fan base. Not all of them, but there is a minority in Chelsea that do make racial chants.
If your worldview of England, if your worldview of England is based on what you see in largely American media, you will think that London is an occupied city and it's dangerous to go anywhere, and it's not true.
Look at this,
right?
and stop going there.
London is a beautifully integrated city, as is Manchester. And Manchester was one of the first, Manchester and Liverpool, because of the docks and because of the cotton industry. You know, if you don't know the history of Manchester, it's fine, you don't have to. But if I tell you that there is one, that there's a statue of Abraham Lincoln in Lincoln Square in Manchester, and the reason it's there is because the cotton workers of Manchester unilaterally went on strike to support the war for emancipation of slavery. We'd already abolished slavery 150 years before that. And Abraham Lincoln wrote them a personal letter of thank you to the cotton mill workers of Manchester, thanking them for standing up to slavery. And they all risked their jobs to go on strike because they weren't trade unions in those days. But they just went, we work with that cotton that's picked by slaves. We're not going to do that anymore.
Cade.
That was a bit of a strong comment before.
Cade, that's
that?
not a good comment.
Yeah.
If City ignore the backlash, then they'll reach people.
I think.
Anyway, let's move on because clearly it may not even happen. It's that'll just turn. You're already seeing it's turning into a nightmare.
It's creating this English versus the rest of the world divide. I don't like that. That's
in your own
it's
personal views more than the club.
You're right.
No, I am, mate. I just don't want a racist in the football club. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And if you think I'm the only one, Tierra, then you're living under a rock.
There's some
so your position is I want racists at my club. That's your position. Defend that. Make me an argument where that makes any sense.
Let's move on. We're going down in circles. At the end of the day, listen, let them sign Enzo Maresca. The fans will protest and we'll boo him. He'll never get accepted.
No, not Maresca.
Not Maresca. Enzo Fernandez. He'll never get accepted there. Well, if you want to accept him and cheer him, great.
Yeah, don't sack Maresca. Not yet, Christ. Don't boo him.
Now you said Maresca wants Fernandez, everyone's going to turn on Maresca.
You know what makes me laugh? You know what makes me laugh is if Enzo Fernandez had come out and slagged off America or slagged off other countries, they'd be upset. I'm sorry, I am an Englishman. Manchester City is in England. Have I missed something?
That's what I meant by we'll be the ones booing him. Because you don't boo you can boo your TV, but it has no effect. But the people in the stadium will be the ones who are booing. They're the ones you will hear on your TV.
Stop telling me how I think, Sunshine, because I won't be glazing him. I will never back a racist. I'll never back anyone. I'll never back a paedophile. I'll never back someone who sexually assaults anyone. I don't back pricks. I'm sorry, I won't. Because I'm not here for the shiny pots. I'm here because I love Manchester City. Not because I woke up one day, picked name out the hat and went, oh, we won trophies.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. I'm City till we die, not City till we stop winning.
Anyway,
move on.
Yeah. Well done, Danny. Bloody hell.
I think it's good to clear the air, though. I think it's good to clear the air with some of this stuff. Yeah.
I'm just an happy clapper, though. No, I'm someone who's had a season ticket for 40-odd years. Kiss my big blue ass.
You just said move on twice.
Yeah, well, I'm fucking going for it now. Let's have it.
Chest out, let's go.
Manchester City. I've never said you don't. I never said you don't, mate. So
he's representing what the club means to him.
Don't tell me as an Englishman, when the guy's a racist prick, how to feel as well and what to do.
Yeah. Thierry, are you a racist? Just for the record. Are you a racist? No, but is he? I think it's a valid question given the points that he's making. Are you a racist? And if you are, just say it plainly, and then we know.
No.
Where you stand.
Trev, no, stop. That's a loaded question, and we're not going to do that because he's not going to answer yes or no, is he?
Yeah, because all racists are cowards.
Right, well, let's move on. Right. Fucking hell, where do we go now?
What's the next topic then?
Forwards. Are we up to forwards?
Forwards. Yeah. Erling
Haaland, end of
Haaland.
subject.
Erling Haaland. Oh,
He's shit, sell him.
Right, according to Simon Bajowski today, it looks like Enzo Omar Mamouche is going to stay. There is no bids for him. There is interest from Tottenham, and that's it.
I think Villa as well, weren't they?
He only mentioned Tottenham.
Okay.
Is that because De Zerbi likes him? I read some about that, saying De Zerbi's a big fan of him.
Yes.
Yeah, I tell you what, who doesn't deserve be rate? Every bloody
was
day
about to
I'm
say.
seeing he rates someone. And why does people suddenly want to work for De Zerbi and go and play for him? You know, no, he's done an all right job with Brighton, but it's like Pep or something. It's like,
He does have
him.
exciting football though, Tom. He does.
He suddenly rates everyone because he's got an open checkbook by the looks of it, and they want to
Something
pay
like
high
that.
wages.
Yeah. He's the guy who thinks that the stripper fancies him. Okay, here's some cash.
Oh
She
shit!
really
I'm out of
likes
cash.
me.
You take
She
cash.
really likes me. Make
I'll
it
tap
rain.
away.
What would people do with? Oh, here we go. It's Rolly a racist. He was on the bus too. Well, if he was, then he shouldn't sign
Then he can
out.
do one. Yeah.
No, he can do one as well. So there
I'll
you
have
go.
a look at the video and
Anyway,
hate him
right.
and you.
So, Jesus Christ. I'm starting to think, yeah, I'm going to move on before I say something. You do know I can check what countries you're all from in the background. Be very
Luke, De Zerbi likes the Mancini and wants to turn it into a Chelsea channel.
Breaking news. Barcelona
Show me your money.
Barcelona's first offer to Man City could be 45 million plus 15 million in add-ons.
What's that, Ed? Who's that?
Who's this?
That's
Sorry.
Euros. That's Euros as well.
Who for?
Barca, fuck off.
Rodri.
Oh, fucking hell. That's
Fuck
not
off.
Are we getting that in installments, by the way? Probably.
Yeah, 60.
We'll have to send the debt collectors
Hang
in
on a
again.
minute.
50 pence a week.
Half of you were being cooks for bloody Barcelona. You're loving them.
No, we're not. We're just no. The thing that Rich said before, it's like if you heard that he was going to United and then suddenly went to Liverpool or whatever, whichever one of those two you hate the most, then I definitely hate. No, but I definitely hate Real Madrid more than I hate Barcelona. I hate them both, but I hate Real Madrid more.
I'm more insulted that Rodri wants to leave.
No, that goes without saying. You don't have to say that. That's
No, but
obvious. Nobody wants him to leave, but I don't think he's been a snake about it either.
No, he's definitely not been a snake.
No, I agree. He's not been a snake. I think what
tonight, for the first time, I saw that he's been twerking for Real Madrid and Barcelona. He was twerking at both of them. Apparently
I think he
now.
just wants to go home.
Fuck off.
He's been.
And what's the problem with him wanting to go home? There's no problem with that.
Yeah.
And you said it's what mine, and it's really valid point. These players, unfortunately, are not supporters of Manchester City like we are.
Yeah.
They don't.
And then that's fine.
They come here, they do a job. He's done a job for us. We owe him nothing.
Incredible.
He owes us nothing.
Yeah. And
he won
also,
our first Champions League. What more do you want?
And also, he. Oh, sorry, Danny. You go.
No, that was pretty much it. I can go on a massive rant about this, and I don't want to. So I've been hearing it all day.
It's a family thing as well, and that's the thing people forget. Is they think football. Football to these places, obviously the job does but they have families, and if the family want to move, it's the same with any of us. If you
on that tone, I just want to add. I said it before, but you weren't on. Okay, so did another bit of research, and I'm not doxing Laura here, his missus. I'm not doxing her. This is all public information. She lives in Castellón, right? She doesn't live in Madrid. She doesn't work in Madrid, which has been a big part of the narrative. His missus is now qualified as a surgeon. She lives in Madrid. She works in Madrid. That's why he wants to go to Madrid. It's absolute bullshit. She lives in Castellón. She's been there for 11 years because she couldn't leave because that's how long the surgeon training takes. That's the university that they met at 11 years ago, and she's been there 11 years, because just by researching how long does it take to train to be a surgeon in Spain, you can find out that that takes 11 years. Your first 5 years to become a doctor, then there's 2 more years of experience, and then there's another course to be a surgeon. Newly qualified surgeons tend to work at the hospitals where they qualified at. She's in Castellón. She's absolutely in Castellón, and she's working her first year as a new surgeon at the place where she trained. Here's the interesting thing. Barcelona is 173 miles away from Castellón, and Madrid is 274 miles away from Castellón. So if that's part of his motivation, Barcelona is 100 miles closer. Not kilometers, 100 miles closer to Castellón where she lives. It's 2 hours drive and less on a train.
I'm one of them. Manchester City's bigger than any football, any player. If listen, if it's Rodri, if it's Haaland, if it's Dick Van Dijk, if you don't want to be here and play for the club, then bring us the money and off you go.
And that's going to be probably the biggest problem in all this. I don't think Real Madrid can afford him. And I don't see how Barcelona are going to be able to afford him, because although they're making bids, Lewandowski's leaving. They need to replace him. So where's that money coming from? Ferran Torres is apparently leaving. So
no, they have got some
where's the money coming from?
No, because they have got the new Spotify deal, Danny. They have got the Spotify.
They have 460 million between now and 2030. They're not broke. They've got money. They're probably more liquid than
they've just lost
Lewandowski's
wages. How much was his wages on?
This is going to unfortunately get done. I think
it's going to end with him going to Barcelona. Probably.
Yeah, he'll go now.
It is what it is.
Well, that's fine if that's the case. I've not got a problem with that, as long as we get the right fee for him.
Yeah, that's always been our point.
You shake hands and say thanks very much. We wish you all the best.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All this is snaking is all this. And then he's a Spanish kid that's grown up wanting to win the Liga. He's given us his best years. He's realised. And I can flip this in reverse as well. Here's the rant. He could turn around and say, you fucked my career up. You hoard me out. You played me into the ground that I did my ACL. If you go and look at that injury that he's had, if you research it, the main reason you get that injury is because you're putting too much stress and strain on a muscle. There's not enough time off. There's not enough relax, to rest him. And eventually it goes. It's like blowing air into a balloon. Eventually, pops, and that's what happened to his ACL. Before he did it, he even come out and said, "I'm playing too many games." And look what happened. So he could turn around and say, I could have had 7, 8 years left. Now because of this injury, I've got 3 or 4. And in those last 3 or 4 where he can play at an elite level, he decided, I've won everything there is to win in England. There's nothing left for me here to do. Pep's now left. You're now transitioning to a new era. I want to go home and I want to win La Liga, because that's what I've not won, and it's my dream. Are we really going to deny that opportunity?
It's his last big contract. This is his generational wealth contract, where he never ever has to. He probably is nearly there anyway, And his missus has got a job that she's in love with, so he's just going to have this fantastic life there,
Yeah,
who wouldn't?
It's Barcelona. It's Barcelona, for Christ's sake.
I know. I mean, what a place! It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, it's an amazing place. I went there last year. Amazing place.
This is it. He grows up wanting to go to these clubs. Unfortunately, he didn't grow up wanting to go to Manchester City. Manchester City might be what it is to us, but when he was looking at Real Madrid's the biggest club in the world. He's going to want to go there. He's not going to want to come to Man City. But he came in and he gave us his best years, and we've won everything.
But we said it to Vinny Jr. Everyone said, Arsenal fans were in these days of Vinny Jr. dreams of playing at Arsenal. No, he fucking doesn't. Do you know what he dreams about? Being Perez's bitch. Guess what he did today? He became Perez's bitch for 6 more years. And
here's the thing that doesn't seem to be dawning on Arsenal fans. They offered him more money than the deal he settled for, which is like the biggest diss ever. He's staying at Real Madrid, not on the money he wanted from Real Madrid, but on less than Arsenal offered him.
Jeremy Doku, how are we being happy club? Because
Zero.
If you want to abuse a player, Jeremy Doku, off your pot, we won't.
Off he does.
Because he wants to go home.
I've not said anything about him being likeable. I've stated facts of what he's done for this club, everything that he's gave to this club.
Correct.
And I'm saying, does he not deserve the opportunity now to go? What do you want to do? To keep him forever?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Because you know what makes me laugh? If Rodri played next season and then didn't perform, you know what you'll all say? He's not performing because his head's in Spain. So you'll all turn on him again everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, this is exactly what I was saying before about Nico Gonzalez. When he was starting last season, everyone was saying, oh, when Rodri comes back, we can bench him. We've got Nico Gonzalez now. A lot of people were saying that. And then as soon as he come back, he went, oh, here we go, he's back. And then they got injured again.
He's Manchester City, not Rodri.
If you want to be cynical about it, there's never been a better time to sell Rodri. Never been a better time, because we haven't had the use of a fully fit Rodri for 2 seasons, which means that we are not Rodri dependent as it is right now. We haven't been able to depend on him for 2 seasons, and we're starting a new era at the club. If we keep him for another year, we are going to be Rodri dependent in that first transitional season. And that's more difficult to cope with. So now is the time. It is the right time.
Get the transition gone now.
Do you remember when De Bruyne was on his way out? And everyone was like, yeah, get rid of him. And then he had an all right season. And it was getting to the end. I was going, oh, should we give him 1 more year? And what's the first thing that happened when he went to Napoli? Got injured. Out for the majority of the season. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Rodri, but, you know, these injuries are massive injuries. And you've got to take it into consideration. If someone's coming along and saying, here's a load of cash for him, and he wants to go.
We don't want it to happen to him.
No, we don't. You know? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that. I'm just using an example. Because people forget about these things.
Spot on. I'm more hurt than I am annoyed about Rodri. I'm hurt because he doesn't really want to stay at City anymore.
But I understand why he wants to go.
Of course I'm hurt as a Manchester City. Because then someone goes, you're being too emotional. Manchester City is emotional to me. And to Trev, and to Tone, and to Ed, and to Dana, and 99% of the chat. Our football club is emotional.
If you're not emotional, I don't know what you're watching.
Anyone saying football's not emotional is crazy. Sorry.
I can this is where I can differentiate. Other than Foden, none of them support City really. You don't know.
Yeah.
So this is what happens in football. It's a business at the end of the day. Someone was kicking off with me in a group chat and saying, "Oh well, we paid for his surgery and we kept paying him while he was out." He was under contract. You're going to pay him while he's out.
Of course you are. He's protecting your asset.
Mate. That is
it's
amazing.
Just an argument. It's a bullshit argument.
Good lad, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
I think what it is that some people aren't dealing with their separation anxiety like adults. You know, they've got separation anxiety about Rodri, and so they're lashing out like toddlers.
It's all the snake comments for me. I was there in Istanbul when won that Champions League, and a lot of the old boys, they say, "This is my journey complete. I've been there and we don't have a pot to piss in, and I've completed the journey. This is it now." And they said it's the best day of their footballing life. He was the reason for that. He scored that goal. It was 1-0. No one else scored. He scored. Has everyone just forgot that? How can you call that man a snake?
No, I'm glad he isn't getting a send off. Not a patch on Furness. Sell him and let's move on. Thank you, Martin, for the top shows, top class as usual. Thank you, Martin. Half of that will go to Alzheimer's Society. I thought Bernardo would see his pension at City. The only time Bernardo hasn't started is because he plays for another buddy club.
He was trying to leave for 3 seasons. We didn't call him a snake. We got it.
That was the example I used today.
That's why I
convinced him to stay, but he tried to leave for 3 seasons.
Listen, we're on X as a channel, but the spaces and everything are done with X because he's silly at the minute. People's emotions are all over the place. Nico G better than Rodri. See now, Dylan, that's just silly.
Dylan, that's
silly. Dylan. You're rage baiting, mate. Hand of Arsenal, stop listening to Hand of Wank.
Oh, no, it's brilliant. Oh, Mrs. Palm and her 5 lovely daughters.
Hand of Wank,
He's a wanker. He's a wanker. He does him good luck in Bloody Orchard.
Hand of Arsenal is a guy on Twitter who's been telling everyone that Vinny Jr. was happening, and
done deal.
Basically baited all the Arsenal fans in.
Only Arsenal have the pull. Only Arteta and Arsenal are the only club in the world that Vinny Jr. would ever consider playing for. Because the only club.
So, do you want Rodri? Jeremy Docker go. Do you want? Is this about Rodri? Are we saying want Rodri to stay? So, what if his head and heart isn't in it, and he just downs tools and goes, "Fuck it"?
How do we make?
But we keep it for a season because we need core players.
I don't think you realise, Jeremy Dokugo, he doesn't want to stay. I can't. What do you want me to do? Hog time, put him in the boot of the car and force him to sign the contract?
And, you know, the moral argument, you know, this might make Rodri look even better. I tend not to be in this way of thinking. But Rodri might be thinking, I don't want to go on a free. I want the club to get something for me.
Yeah.
Equally likely.
He's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. We get some money for him now, or do you know what? We can keep him, like people are saying. Guess what happens in January? He signs that free contract. He's going.
Jeremy
and he gets nothing for him.
I hear that, but this is my argument back. City get 0 for him, and then next summer have to spend 120 million to replace him. Is it not better to get 60 odd million in now towards that than pay 0 towards it for Rodri?
I think it's simpler than that, Martin. If a player wants to go,
let him go.
That's why I'm agreeing with that. If he wants to stay, I'd happily let him stay and go for free. It's not about the money to me. It's the fact he doesn't want to stay.
What I wanted to see from the club, in this whole story, what I wanted to see from the club is that they made him an offer that negated any other offer he would get, you know, or that matched, so the decision was not financial. And I believe the club did that with the 400 plus. 400k is the most reliable reporting. I've seen 450k that he was offered to stay at City and some sort of lump sum signing bonus. So City took the financial motive off the table. That's what I wanted from our club, from our leadership, from our owners. I wanted them to make the offer, the decision just about what Rodri wants, and for it not to stay for the money or not to go for more money.
What gets me though is everyone always goes straight to the player. Why is no one like going at Real Madrid going, you're all shithouses? They did this with Trent and Liverpool. This is what I don't want us to turn into, like a Liverpool. They did it with Gerrard. They did it with Trent.
Threats,
Why are we slowly becoming that? I thought this all started with like Edison when we outed him and wanted him out. Why are we becoming that kind of fan base?
Yeah.
So some are becoming.
No, some are. Yeah, some are. Sorry, I can't label everyone. Why is that happening?
I think it's because I got a theory about this, Danny. I think it's because we have failed, us, you know, for want of a better word, Mancunians, who are part of the 38,000 who will be there even if we drop down 2 divisions. We have failed to communicate the values of what it means to be a City fan. It's our failure. We have not communicated the values of what it is to be a City fan to the more recently acquired. And so now we've got 2 cultures within the fan base. We've got one culture who have an identity, and that's people like us and people quite a bit younger than us. And then we've got the fans who've come along in the last decade, and their term of reference isn't us. Their term of reference is how other fans behave on social media. So their peer group is not us. When we grew up being City fans, we had other City fans, you know, around us, in our families, in our schools, in our workplaces. We learned what was important to City fans. We learned how to laugh at ourselves due to being shit and finding it hilarious how shit we were and stuff like that. Now, that doesn't mean that we are better than them, but I think we have failed to pass on that culture of what it means to be a blue to us, to them. And I don't know whether we ever could pass that on. We just have to accept.
Right, hang on. Right, Jeremy Dokugo. I don't want to go into this again. But 2008, City nearly went into liquidation. You did know that, don't you?
Yeah, and the thing is, Jeremy Dokugo, we're still here, and we'll still be here when you're gone because the trophies died.
Jeremy Dokugo, only 17 years ago, City nearly went into administration to liquidation, which is why Taksin had to sell the club to Sheikh Mansour.
That wasn't the first time.
That's not the 90s. Can we stop saying the 90s?
let me spin it a different way, because obviously when we're putting City in, it becomes emotional. I'm talking about respect, human decency. Yeah, someone who's done what he's done earns respect. All I'm saying is, on his way out, why can't we show him that respect and say, thanks for everything you've done, we wish you nothing but the best? Why have we got to go, you're a snake, you're a shithouse, you're this, you're that? That's not respect.
Tone, Rodri's...
Thank you, Brooks, for that statement, by the way. That does my heart good.
From what me and you were told earlier, Rodri's agreed personal terms, hasn't he, with Barcelona at the moment?
Yeah. It's just the money again.
Yes,
but we're basically back at the fee. This is what I'm saying. People are still trying to grasp onto the Foden. Rodri, hope of staying. He's not going to stay, guys. And I'll put it in a better way. If you wanted to sell a car, is it better to get half? Is it better to get some money than zero money?
Yeah, there's some talk earlier that Real Madrid were hovering because they were thinking maybe on a free next year.
Yes, you are, you bastard. Positive J.
Whereas Barcelona have gone in and Rodri has reportedly said to them, now, not next summer, I need now, and they've gone all in. They've put a bid in. They know that's getting rejected. They know they're not stupid. They know that's going to get turned down. Part of the game. It'll happen. Rodri's going this month to Barcelona. We all know it's happening.
This is what Real Madrid do, and this is my point about why aren't people so pissed off with them, because they do it all the time. They have a history of doing it. They make it known years in advance. Oh, we want this player. We're looking at this player to disrupt it, put the cat amongst the pigeons and all that. And then they hope that their pull as a club will attract that player on a free when his contract comes up. So he'll turn down the likes of Barcelona and things like that and go, no, I'd rather go Real Madrid for free.
And here's the thing. Because of the liquidity problem that they've had that stretches back 5 years, this is the deliberate strategy. I posted something and I got a massive negative response from Arsenal fans because they didn't like what I was saying. But here's what I was saying. Arsenal have 8 first-team players going into 2 years left on their contract this season. They've got 2 seasons left. The campaign to get those players, if Real Madrid won any of them, the media campaign, the hysteria, the flirting with those players will begin this January. Not next January. It's this January, because the media campaign for that 4 months will be, or 5 months, whatever, will be to stop them extending at Arsenal so that they pick them up for a free the following season. Some people can't fit that idea into their head. I don't know whether the maths are too complicated, but that's what Real Madrid's strategy has been. They're not looking for players going into their last year because it's too fucking late. They're looking for players. They're looking for players with 2 years left on their contract, and they start that campaign in the January, not to sign them, to stop them. And that's what's happened with Perez, by the way. Unfortunately for Perez, Rodri won the World Cup with Spain and was player of the tournament. And Perez has been forced to now try to buy him. He didn't want that. He definitely didn't want to buy him. And Mourinho said he didn't want him. He's a dog that caught the car. He wanted to chase the car. He wanted to bark at the car. That's why they started last January with their campaign on Rodri, and to dissuade Rodri from signing an extension. But he's caught the car. He wanted to find it parked up at the end of next season with the keys in the ignition, the door open and the engine running, and get in the car and drive it away from the Etihad for free.
Have we sold Calvin Phillips yet?
Don't start, dickhead. I had to take Calvin. I had to take half the squad out earlier because Rich, Trevor, and all that weren't happy. They were like, take half that bloody squad out. Take it out.
Can I just put my Calvin Phillips
you weren't here.
analogy out there?
I was listening.
I wanted to give him a bonus.
I've got a theory about Calvin Phillips. Just remember, has he got 1 or 2 years left on his contract?
So
I think it's 1. Is it
2? Yeah, 2028.
If he goes, right, who's going to make the gravy for the pies?
My theory of Phillips is, I think he's intentionally being this shit when he goes out on loan, just so he can stay on the high wages.
Breaking news, and this is
bloody hell, here we go.
You would, I would.
Fabrizio Romano 1 minute ago. Barcelona fully agreed on personal terms with Rodri. Negotiations club to club are suddenly following. Man City to advance on transfer fee and get the deal done ASAP. Do you know why? City want to get, because I think City have identified who they want and they're going, can we get that? City can't do their deal until Rodri's gone. Once they know Rodri goes, because what I think City have got a guy in mind.
Yeah. Wasn't that a bit weird? Wasn't that a bit weird where Barcelona said they'll match what Real Madrid, but we've not backed Real Madrid. So why are they matching him?
You know why? You know why? Soriano is going to open his cheeks and go, yes, Barcelona, you can have him for £20 million less because I fucking love you, Barca. Yes, won't
we're going to go back to our original. What I commented on, are we going to see a dark side to Rodri and down tools if he don't go?
No, Rodri won't
I don't think that's in his nature.
He's going.
He's going, yeah. I'd just like to say to Stephen, thanks for thanks for the super chat, Stephen. And you know I've got a lot of love for you. Yeah, you're my official Arsenal fan. I love.
Breaking news: City are signing Chris Wood. Fucking get used to it.
He is. Obviously, he is going to go. Because he's been so quiet, obviously he's going to go.
Well, I'll tell you what. You want ITK next Wednesday at lunchtime? It is now confirmed the day. We just got to confirm the time. A week yesterday, Jack Gone is coming on. 2 weeks. No, it's not.
Hang on.
It's a week.
No, 2.
2 weeks, 19th.
For fuck's sake.
I didn't check the DM. Right, on the 19th of August, Jack Gone is coming to do a show. We are still umming and ahhing whether it is going to be live or recorded. The reason why we need everyone to be on best behaviour.
I think I'd do that recorded if I was you, Martin.
People are moving at the minute. We're not sure. The minority to come in and be sensible with Jack Gone.
I don't think he's going to fancy a 3.5 hour chat when the chat's loads.
We'll have a think.
I don't think it can be live, mate.
Yeah, we might have to do recording.
We'll record
Jack, you lying bastard. Why do you spread rumours? Fucking hell, thanks for your 20 quid. Some super chats, sorry. Right, Nets. Thank you. I love that name, mate. Ned's ZZ, love it. With the $2, is Pep involved in changing his mind to Barca? That'll be the next rumour out. Guardiola involved in Rodri deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Contract written in blood in Catalonian.
I love that name as well, Brooks. $9.99. I don't know if that's Canadian or American or Australian, but thank you so much. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a lovely day. Want to say cheers to all of you and the lifelong supporters. Every one of you have met over the years has been kind and willing to share history with me. That's what makes it special. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brooks. That does my heart good.
See, we do get through to the 2% of the world. We do. Stephen, our resident gunner.
I've already thanked him and told him he's my favourite.
Stephen, Vinny Jr. looks good in red and white, doesn't he? Trev, if it comes out of your mouth and it's about Arsenal, I definitely don't like it. I hope you guys are all blessed.
Guys, I have some. There's a lot of Tottenham, closer people to Tottenham, saying that they have pulled out of Lucas Bergvall and forced full attentions on to Johnny Reinders.
By the way, Spicy's honest. Martin do it recorded. I don't trust myself. At least he's honest. He's like, please do it recorded. And then Stephen again with the 5. You're amazing, mate. Enzo Maresca loves Enzo Fernandez. So good to see it. Boom.
Well, let's not start that again. Let's not start
that debate again. Calling show with Jack Gone. Fuck off. Never happened.
Yeah. I've just had a message from Jack Martin saying, Christ, the host doesn't even know when I'm on. No, he didn't. He didn't. I'm just kidding.
Has to be a big sign. Yeah. Listen, I think I think Rodri will happen. It'll happen. Where the bloody hell's governor?
Just walking on the Esplanade.
He's getting his steps in.
Just as you do. Just as you do on the
Esplanade.
Right.
What? Not gone in work yet.
Tone,
Yes.
Tajani Reinders. Who would you
Yes.
replace him with?
Oh, bloody hell.
I'm sticking you on the spot, Bolster.
Morgan Gibbs-White. I know people disagree. Don't care. I like him. I think he's good. There you go. And
I would take Berg.
How much would you pay for him, Tom? How much would you pay for him?
Well, that's the problem, Ed, because I don't think Forest are showing some kind of ambition, just bloody going for Reinders. So they're clearly maybe a bit more serious than they normally are. That they're going to probably want somewhere around the 80, 90 mark. Would I pay that? No, definitely not. But yeah, 60 maybe.
But that's the thing, Tony. If you want Alice Scott, if you want Wharton, if you want any of these midfielders in the Prem, you're looking at 75 minimum.
I don't want Wharton. I'm not fussed on Wharton. Who was the Alex Scott? I'm not sure. I'd rather Gibbs-White than.
Have you seen the rumour today about McAllister? Etihad Intel. I'm glad you put your real name out.
I saw that.
I'm glad you put your real name out now.
What the
No, look at your name, Toe.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Turn that shit off. McAllister, not the Liverpool player.
Yeah.
No. Please, no.
What did I say at the beginning? I said 200 mil, Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White. 200 mil, I said.
Yeah, lovely. Gibbs-White much better than bloody McAllister. He scored like 3 good goals in 4 weeks, and he's better than Messi. Bang average.
What kind of?
And I said the team wouldn't get rid of their 2 best players. But look at Newcastle. They did.
No, Messi's not.
Plus, if Rodri leaves, he's safe to come in because he won't get strangled now in training.
What kind of profile are you looking for in the Reinders, though? Are you looking at an 8, a 10?
You're looking at an 8 that can box crash and get you goals, and also get stuck in at times.
But Reinders was doing that, Ed, and we've got rid of him.
No, I'm saying he has to get duels. He has to win duels too.
Are they definitely gone?
So you want an all-rounder then?
Yeah, an all-rounder.
How much is Jude Bellingham? Would anyone? I mean,
he's too busy on towers, that lad.
Everyone keeps laughing about Gibbs White, but if they want Reinders, maybe ask them. Just a question. Would you? It'd have to be
It's close with Phil, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the godfather. Gibbs White is his son's godfather.
Yeah, Ronnie's stepfather, godfather.
And
stepfather.
Sorry, that's a rumour. Sorry, wrong word. Jesus Christ, there we go.
Stepfather.
But and he's had he's had a relationship with Anderson.
Yeah,
on the pitch. I mean, I'm not saying anything else. You know,
didn't say, Trev, that's breaking news.
But at that part of the show, when all the wild stuff coming out now.
That is a bomber.
Yeah, that's an Ian Bishop scenario.
Do you know what? When you think of it, or is there a foreign option?
The real ones know what I mean.
Because we've done the squad. Once you've got rid of Rico Lewis and you've got rid of Phillips and you've got rid of others, do you know how many homegrown you've actually got?
How many?
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 max. So you are going to need a homegrown at some point. Because we've not even got enough to fill. We've just got enough to fill you out, which I saw about earlier. I've got enough, but you have, because O'Reilly's under 21, it doesn't count.
Gibbs White would do more than Reinders.
So I know everyone's going to laugh at me, but you are going to need a homegrown because for some reason we've signed a foreign backup bowler, which I'm still baffled about because that was the easiest way of getting around a homegrown spot.
Yeah, but nobody wanted Ramsdale, Martin.
I'd even done Nick Pope on loan for a year.
No.
Not even on a rope.
No, not Nick
Pope.
Nick Pope. Have you seen him, Nick Pope?
We've just said, Ed, I know you've got a hatred for Newcastle for some weird reason. No, I don't know why.
Martin. If people are crashing on Donnarumma for his kicking, my lord, Nick Pope.
Ed, I heard you on that Newcastle show with Baz and that. You've got a serious agenda there, my friend.
Hey. He said Eddie Howe was a better manager than Pep. He said a lot of things. He done said a lot.
Sorry. Ask it. Why are you doing that? Because I know the rules, mate. Are we gonna reduce our squad size?
Oh, not the homegrown rules.
But actually, it's going. Why am I doing this? Because you do need homegrown, mate. Your squad of 25 is 17 foreign and up to 8 homegrown. If you want 25,
it has to be 8
of them have
25.
To be homegrown, mate, over the age of 21. Or you have a smaller squad.
Yeah. Just the
rules. And you've just
can't do anything about that.
Grealish, Phillips, Rico Lewis, all gone. So please, I know the rules better than anyone.
Does anyone understand this swap rule? I've heard about it, but I haven't really understood it. Go on.
Under the squad cost ratio, if you're doing a straight swap, it has to be independently looked at by the Premier League because it's very hard to put the valuation of players on. Because basically, on the 30th of June, when all the books come in, the best example is, you remember when Newcastle sold Elliot Anderson for 35 million to Forest, and then they bought a goalie for 20 million. That was done because Newcastle was short by 35 mil and Forest was short by 20 mil. So they sort of helped each other out a little bit, did the deal, and the Premier League went, hey up, guys, you can't be doing that because you're just scratching each other's backs here and buying players you don't need. So what they then because what they were saying is that goalie isn't real. And then there was a guy at Chelsea, he was he about 17, 18? He got sold for like 40 million quid to Villa. And they're like, he's not even made an appearance and you sold him at 40 million quid. Are you taking the piss? So what they've now said is, to do club-to-club transactions, there has to be a 45-day cooling off period or it's investigated by the Premier League. Because what they're saying
is, wait for 45 days and you can do the thing that they say you can't do.
I thought you could do it within 45 days, Martin.
No, you can't. You can, but then it has to go through a Premier League panel to be looked at and scrutinised. It's to make sure that the fair valuations are being put onto the SCRs.
Oh, and that changes after 45 days. What a ridiculous organisation run our game.
It's
a
basically
multi-billion-dollar industry.
With all this, it's to stop all this. I scratch your back, you scratch my back.
At the end of the window.
Yeah,
but they haven't said don't do it. They've said don't do it for 45 days. So if they really wanted to say don't do it,
and they'll probably okay it anyway.
But do you know what? Do you know they never publicly advertised that rule? They brought the rule in very quietly, like in the back room. It's one of them rules you don't know.
Yeah, but how can the Premier League tell people how much people cost when you got Anthony going for 95 million, Maguire going for 80 million, and a million other examples around? How can they tell us like we don't think he's worth that?
That's what I just said. Actually, they have to. You can do the deals, but then it goes into a investigation. And if the Premier League say you've undervalued or overvalued, you can get.
But how can they judge that? How can they judge someone's under or overvalued someone?
That means you're going to transfers.
They do
You've got to start showing your book.
They do a live with an ex-live asking the question, "How much is this player worth?" And then they take the advice of the live.
I think so. For example, what they'll say is, they'll look at players of a similar age, a similar sort, if they're homegrown, similar stats, and if all the other players around that valuation are going at 100 million and you value them at 50, they'll say, well, why is everyone else going at 100 and you're going at just 50? That looks a bit dodgy.
Would you do Reinders and 20 for Gibbs White? Everyone on the panel. Reinders and 20 mil Gibbs White.
In this market, is Gibbs White worth 75 mil?
That's okay.
Yes, yes, he
Just
is.
sold Elliot
I'm kind
Anderson
of
for
okay with that.
116.
Yeah, I'm all right with that, Tone. Good deal.
Right.
Get it done. Off you go.
Hang on, I'll just
Right. I'm now the Tone. I'm now the Premier
Work on
League.
it, Tone. Work on it.
No, Tone. I'm now the Premier League with you. You just bought Elliot Anderson for 116 million, and Morgan Gibbs White has 5 times more goals and 5 times more assists. How's he valued £50 million less than Elliot Anderson? Can you explain that to me, please?
Well, can someone explain?
That's what they're going to say to you.
95 million for Anthony.
There's that Greek owner there, the fucking greedy cunt.
And you know what? You know the A-League over here has been ruined because they capped the transfers. Been ruined.
You know, you can do a deal. It's just very hard to do deals. It's like that, but you know that Bergvall, who was at Tottenham, Chelsea, Newcastle wanted to buy him, but because they'd sold Tonali, they had to wait off to do the Bergvall. That Bergvall had to stop, otherwise it goes into an investigation. No one wants to do the investigation because you got to open your books to them.
I'm sorry, but I still don't get how they can over or undervalue people with this market. It's mad.
No, but that's what they go off the current market.
Dictating, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Governor, you bought a car at £40,000, right? The next day you go around the corner, you get a car, you get the same car £20,000 cheaper. Why? Because your mate works there.
Yeah.
Why are you paying 20 and that someone the day before was paying 40 for the exact same car?
Yeah, but if you just wait 45 days,
well,
none of it's illegal. None of it's illegal.
That car will be gone.
That's brilliant.
I didn't make up the booking rules, guys. I'm not bleeding the Premier League and the clubs. You having a go at me?
Can I ask something? I don't know if you've already mentioned it, but I know it was a K-pop game, but I did see a little bit of the 3 at the back. Now, if Maresca's going to go 3 at the back, what do we do with Nunes?
He goes to right back. That's why they're not buying a right back anymore, Governor, because Nunes is going to be the main guy.
I wouldn't.
No,
I like the idea. I like the idea from Labry. Our first bit of merch. Tone, get on the phone. That should be a
who's going to go right back?
We already had. Governor, we already had. Nunes was playing 3 at the back.
He played with 3 centre halves.
Nunes was playing 3 at the back last season when we had O'Reilly inverted though.
Because I think they'll invert on the left and just keep the right. Because we're overloaded on the left.
Hang on, when did we invert O'Reilly last season?
When he just moved up there, didn't he? He just went.
Yeah, he just went to midfield. We didn't start him at left back and he inverted in.
Yeah. And that's what Guardiola will do.
My boy.
LG.
It's making up tactics here as he goes along.
Wait. Are we saying O'Reilly was not inverted from left back into the midfield last season?
No, it was box crashing.
Yeah.
What I want to see from him this year is because Doku's, definitely stepped up last season. I saw that relationship between the two of them developing on that side of the pitch, and I really want to see more of that. I want to see Nico maybe overlapping Doku or coming inside for that inside ball more.
Thank you all.
I mean, Nori can do that with Doku.
He can be a lot of overlapping last season, Trev, to be fair. He does that quite a lot, O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Nori can do it as well.
I liked what I was seeing, So maybe that's another show, relationships.
But is that enough?
Who should we see? Who do we want to see? Like, do we want to see Foden and Cherky? And what do we
don't want to go there? That'll be after dark, that, Trevor.
In the same team.
Right, why is Recolor is playing right back for City? He won't. Yeah. Hang on a minute. So who's your right back then? Who's playing right back?
Not Rico Lewis.
You then? If it's not Nunes, Tone, have you got a Nunes agenda now?
No, I don't mind Nunes. Not Rico Lewis. No.
Hang on. So you just said I won't be sure about Nunes. So who's the right back?
No, I didn't say that. I said don't be sure we won't get a right back. Not Nunes.
I'm not sure we will get a right back.
No, are we playing 4 or are we playing 3?
No, it's 4. It's 4 out of possession, 3 in possession. I'm not going to start going into tactics.
Oh, fucking hell, I've started now.
I'll tell you what we did.
Brain will start exploding if we start getting the tactics board out and start.
I'll tell you what we did see, and we don't want to see it, is Rico Lewis was playing right back.
Yeah, no, I get you. No, ask it. What I'm saying is he does want a bigger squad
in that game.
I think he will. This is where I think Makeda and all them will get promoted into the first team squad. Because I think he'll get a squad of 25, 26, and add 1 or 2 youth to make the squad bigger that way. I think that's what we'll
the youth don't count. So that's a real bonus.
That's why we're trying to be careful with the UEFA rule, because that UEFA rule is a dick rule. Because you got about 4 academy and 4 homegrown, and age doesn't matter in that one. You can't say he's only 17. They don't care, UEFA. In the Premier League, you can get around it. No problem, Steve. I'm just trying to get through everyone's comments. My apologies, Steve. Right, is anything else people want to talk about? Because we've been going for 3 hours and I'm going to get shouted at on Tone's Instagram again.
Ignore them.
I'm getting people.
I'd like to confirm, as someone suggested, that Tony's not on the toilet.
No, he's just got hanging curtains.
Is it the new shop? Is it the new shop? Tone's shower curtains.
No. Like, Citizen, I agree with you. What I was saying was Nico Riley and Lewis and Makeda don't count in the Premier League as part of the 25-man squad.
Yeah.
This is what I mean with this homegrown. People are splitting UEFA. It's why I was trying to do it at the beginning, because this is where the confusion comes in. O'Reilly, Lewis, and Makeda don't count in the Premier League 25. They don't count. And we've already sold Rico Lewis. Apparently, no one wants him.
Hey, I said he could stay. And I said I think he will stay.
Tone's going to
You said it wasn't allowed to include him, and then you went off camera.
You all told me that I had to take Max Elaine, Grealish, Phillips. I had to ditch off.
Who was selling Grealish? Who was getting rid of Grealish?
Oh, Grealish should be gone.
What about Forward then?
Grealish got a redemption arc, have you? Seriously?
I have. I love a redemption arc.
To do what?
To redeem himself.
Where?
on the pitch. Just have that one season where he actually balls out again, like he did in the treble season, and then all the tabloid journalists and gobshites can shut up. I just wanted to come back and ball out. It's a dream. Allow me to dream.
It's a bit harsh about Rico.
No, we're on about Grealish now.
No, but that comment you put up before.
The fullback converts to join up with whoever the 6 is to make the lower part of the midfield box. I'm sorry. I'm going to get called a tactical. I'm not allowed. People shout at me when I do.
You're allowed. You just have to get your Sabutio out and do it on the Sabutio. None of this digital tactical nonsense.
I said that in the group chat.
Let's keep it old school. Get a Sabutio out with an overhead camera, and you've got to flick. To implement and illustrate your tactics, you've got to be able to flick the players into the positions. None of this moving them around digitally. It's nonsense.
See, Kona, I don't know. Have you, Kona, anyone heard of Kona?
Yeah. I have. Yeah, he's someone they like, apparently.
Is Buwadi a done deal? It's getting closer. I think people at City are virtually thinking he's coming. I don't. So,
like Arsenal, on it. It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
You can include them, but they can't be included.
No, you can't call him.
See, Matthew, I'm talking the official squad. Jesus, I'm going to have to start doing an official and unofficial squad now. Buwadi's taking it. I think it's because the Lille owner would like to keep him on loan. And they're saying if we do what we want him now, they want us to pay extra money to take him now, and City don't really want to do that. So we're just in the middle. Buwadi's agreed personal terms. That's all agreed.
We've got to play him.
the other thing about that is that the other suitors that he had, which were apparently Man United and Liverpool, they're not going to let him stay for a year either. So we're in the driving seat because we're the ones who put the money on the table and said, but you're not keeping him for a year. The other two teams that were chasing him will not allow him to stay there for a year anyway. So, you know, he hasn't really got much of a choice. Does he want the money or not is the question for that owner now. Because you're not keeping him for a year. It's just not happening.
It's too quiet on the outgoings, isn't it, still?
He'd have already spent that money, you know. So.
Rotational, I think, Ash. I think he'll use this year as a learning curve. Bed him in a little bit, and then I think he'll be firing. But listen, I think having the options, like we said earlier, Nico G, Reinders' his replacement, Rod's replacement, Kovacic. I think Kovacic will be the one who'll be used as the main rotational backup. I think Nico G will start the season alongside. I'm not even sure Elliot Anderson will start the season. I don't know.
No, still be
back this week, isn't he?
And then we'll end. I'm just thinking fitness-wise. Stephen, thank you. Definitely don't want any players from Tottenham. The football club has been crap all my life, and I'm 41. You're an uncle. And then Sanine, thank you so much. That Bernal kid will learn a lot from Rodri. He got so many of Rodri's attributes. Maybe one for the future if we go for him in the upcoming years. Maybe.
Where is he? Is he at Barca?
Barcelona.
Okay.
But I think this is showing at the moment. I think Manchester City are about to hit the accelerator button in the transfer window. I think we're in for a very entertaining 3 weeks.
Oh, yes.
So sit back, buckle up,
enjoy
the ride. Because the crybabies are about to get what they want.
And they
just
will
have to be a little bit patient.
Until we draw it.
What, Vinny Jr.?
I'll see you all. Vinny Jr. No, he signed a 6-year deal at Madrid.
Yeah, no.
Weird how he's just signed that 6-year deal without breaking news. That he was suddenly just agreed a deal out of nowhere.
He was trying to do a Rooney, wasn't he?
It's amazing how it took 24 hours from the meeting to sign the deal. But I thought he wanted Arsenal.
Only Arsenal. The only club big enough. Arteta's the only manager with the pull.
Yeah,
right. We'll leave it there, lads. Thank you
Stephen.
to Trevor, Danny, Governor, and Tone. You're amazing. And Ed and Rich. Ozzy couldn't join us tonight because he's had some family problems. Everything's fine. Just one of his children is not very well. So we wish
he's all right, Ozzy.
Yeah. We'll be back. If anything breaks tomorrow or Saturday, we'll be back. But at the moment, the next time is Sunday. We're going to do the watch along. I think Tone's going to join us on Sunday with Atletico Madrid. He may do. He said May. I did say May. But yeah, Diego Simeone. He's bringing his. Well, we're going to play Simeone's boys over in the Seoul Stadium, World Cup Stadium, wherever it is. Hopefully, it's a bit cooler than it was the other day.
Do we know?
Do we know what?
Oh.
It's a good fucking job that wasn't breaking news then, wasn't it?
I can hear crickets.
That's just in your own head.
God. Set yourself up there, mate.
That's just in your own head, mate. Right, yeah, so we're back Sunday.
If we go now, that means I've got to work.
So don't forget, we'll do the watch along on Sunday, and then on Monday, around about lunchtime, me and Tone are back with the live transfer ramble with all the breaking rumours and deals coming up. That is going to be on Monday, around about Monday lunchtime. So loads coming up on the channel. Yes.
Sorry, can I say, somebody asked me on Insta, Johnny Summer, he does a show or something, I think. I'm not
Johnny
really familiar. No, well, no. And he asked if we're going to do a 12-hour, I don't know why 12-hour, but a 12-hour transfer deadline day show, like Sky Sports with yellow ties and that. And then
I'm not sure I've got the I did do that.
That's the Talk Sport thing, that.
I've done that before. I did do it the first year of the Mancunian Way. We did do that. I did. I put the yellow tie
probably
on.
Not.
I put the yellow tie on, and we.
I'd rather stick a shitty fork in my knees.
Trev's not tuning in.
It's usually your eye.
I know.
Can I just say, by the way, I just want to say a massive thank you.
old spin on it.
The views,
on the shitty fork.
The views, everything has gone through the roof in the last few weeks. Liked everything. It's wild, and I just say I want a massive thank you. Yeah, Johnny's always invited here. He's away at the minute. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone. The channel has erupted in the last few weeks. Since I've come back off holiday, and maybe it's just transfer window, but yeah, we got nearly 9K on the watch along, which is
get me and Danny on more. You'll get more.
That was hilarious to watch along, by the way. I had fun mocking people's hair, which is basically what me and our kid do during every game on WhatsApp. On away games, if he's not on the match, we will just relentlessly mock people's hair.
So massive
don't
thank
do
you.
that to me. I take that.
We are going to get to 9K. Don't
it's
forget
all jealousy, mate. It's all jealousy.
Next week, we are going to do a giveaway for the training gear that we've got. Size large, 2 size large and a medium size. We're going to give away on the channel with the Asara training top and training pants that we were sorted out. And then also I'll have more update on the website and the prediction league for all the community, where there'll be a prize at the end of that as well. I think that's it. This Thursday or next Thursday, I won't be here because I'm going to Scotland for the weekend. Why? Because I might as well tell you all I'm missing the first game of the season.
Fucking plastic.
That's not new, is it?
Plastic. I'll be there, lads. I'll be there.
How many games are you going to this year, Governor?
If I win the lottery, a lot.
I'll tell you what, should me and you have a pint at Cardiff? Tom, fancy a pint at Cardiff?
Don't like the English over there.
So that I can't say it to Danny. Danny will be there.
I do. I'd love one.
Danny's like, I'll have a pint with you in Cardiff.
Yeah. I remember I used to go on holiday every year to Anglesey, right? And every time I walked in a shop there, they'd start speaking Welsh.
Benwick Bay. I've been there.
Benwick Bay, Red Wharf Bay.
Yeah.
Also,
go in a shop and they'd start speaking Welsh.
Next week, we're going to get the a tour inside my house. No chance. Next week, we are going to get the Blues Brothers back up and running as well. There's loads of people still wanting to come on that. I'm hoping to get JSGC. Lads, Luke, he's going to come on to it. There's loads coming on. So there's loads and loads and loads. So big up all. You are legends. We'll see you all soon. Sit here and about to hit the accelerator in the market. Take care.
Take care, lads. See ya.